have a vision, we have a dream. We are united in global team. We will make you wear a smile forever on your face. We will drive away all worries far behind to space. We have made a choice to live a grateful life, bring to people joy and peace in every heart. We will change the world for everyone to see, all in unity and eternity. We have made a choice to live a grateful life, bring to people joy and peace in every heart. We will change the world for everyone to see, all in unity and eternity. We have a vision, we have a dream. We are united in global team. Only happiness and light we will let inside your mind, 'cause we are unicorn, one of the kind, one of the kind. We have made a choice to live a grateful life, bring to people joy and peace in every heart. We will change the world for everyone to see, all in unity and eternity. We will change the world for everyone to see, all in unity and eternity. All in unity and eternity.
Yourself for your father. All is none, none is one.
Karma's a bitch.
Hello, everyone, and how are you all doing today? I hope that all of you are having a fabulous, fabulous day today. Today, I wanted to go through the Let's O, the most recent O-Ron, which I guess they're also calling it Night Out with the Stars. I'm not really sure what that is about. But before we do that, I just had to show you a video that Red put up recently that made me laugh and is kind of the reason why I wanted us to react to Red's In the Chair with Ash Mufareh recently, because I knew it was going to be kind of like twisted to be some crazy, amazing interview. So I wanted everyone to kind of sit down with me so that we can see it all for ourselves, of course, because Red released just a really funny video. I'll show you what I mean. Little Miss Lulu says, "What in the Jonestown is going on here?" You were close, you were close. That's actually the Manson family singing, along with Renata. So there was that. That was an intro, wasn't it? Good to see you, Sam, and Sherry is here, and Jelly made it. There she is. And Joe says, "Greetings, everyone." And of course, Violet is here. And I know that I saw Chris said he had choir practice tonight, so have fun at choir practice. But I saw Albs here. So I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. And Lamar is here, and he says it basically like shining the light. They're all just speaking to founders since they have nothing to really say about the products. It's very interesting to me, though. Hello, Salami. Good to see you. Fellow Ding Dong. It's funny that Red thinks he's a talk show host now. He really is acting like that. It's great. You were going to say that first? I believe you. So, Red released this video, and okay, first of all, I don't understand. He keeps doing his intro with the code, the QR code for signing up for the Oh Yes, which you can't do right now. So I don't understand why he keeps doing that. That's driving me nuts. But just listen to this video that he did, because it's just like, come on, Red. Very short.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Good to be here once again. And today is Tuesday, 27th of August. Hope everyone's having a great day.
Yesterday.
First off, I want to apologise for not doing a In the Chair live today with Gladys Nyaboro. I had a last minute appointment I had to make for the hospital. That got in the way, but we've pushed Gladys back to next Thursday. So I hope you'll be able to.
Well, I hope everything's okay.
To come along and listen to that one. Tomorrow we've got Esther Hillard from Ireland. She's coming on, but a little bit later at 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time, which is 5 p.m. for us here in the UK. But more importantly, I want to give a massive, massive thank you to absolutely everybody who took the time to watch the very special Ash Mufareh interview that I did in the chair with him on Sunday night that went out.
It was a very, very special interview that he did with him
yesterday as a recording. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope that you all took something away from it, but more importantly, it gave us a little bit of insight of what to expect.
Did it though? Did it really? I felt like he said the exact same things that he always says.
Moving forward, I've listened to it several times now, and it really is, for me, very, very inspiring indeed. I'd also like to give a massive thank you to all of the subscribers to this channel, especially all my tea clubbers, for the continued support. Today, I just went over 50,000 subscribers for this channel. That was...
I went over 5,000. Yay, me! We're going to celebrate later. But, Red here just really seems to think that he did something with that interview that he did. And I don't feel like Ash said anything more than he does on all the other 360s, which is a whole lot of nothing. It's a whole lot of like, yeah, in future, we're going to be doing great. These are the visions that I have for this company. Same old kind of thing. Sam says, was there a 360 today? No, the 360 is not today. It's actually tomorrow, apparently around 2 p.m. So we're going to see if we can grab it tomorrow. But yeah, Red did make it over 50K, so that's good for him. It's just, again, I wish it was for something other than promoting a scam. That would be nice. You know? Connect will be back in either 1 week, 1 month, tomorrow, or 700 years. Right? It was really just more of it's coming back either in a few days at the end of the month, next month, or in a few months, which probably won't happen either. But it's not like he dropped some crazy piece of info on Red's interview or said something that we haven't heard him say 500 times before about himself.
Was my goal that I wanted to set for myself was to get to 50,000. I've now done that. So guess what we do in Onpassive? We make a new top. So 100,000, here I come. Big thank you to all of you that subscribe. I hope the content that I do is beneficial.
The whole like road to 10K and all that. You may have seen that on on Twitter before that YouTubers do.
Beneficial to you all, is of value,
But I guess
but
you
more
can say it's
importantly,
on
that you
passive.
enjoy it. So once again, guys, from the bottom of my heart, a massive thank you. Thank you. That's it from me. See you
You're
all
welcome.
very, very soon. Bye for now.
You're welcome, Red. You're welcome. You're very, very welcome. Anyway, he really thinks that he did something with that Ash Mufareh interview, and it just kind of made me laugh because, again, it was very similar to all his other 360s, where, like, when he decides to go on his big rants about why he started Onpassive. I mean, it's the same rant pretty much every single time, right? Just with different words, maybe a bit more thrown in. Now let's head on over to the Let's O. It was a pretty long one. And this one is the Night Out with the Stars, Back to Basics, which I don't really understand. Like, are we... Because it's also called Let's O. Like, you can see the thumbnail. It's a lot of people's backgrounds, which I hate, but it's good for this purpose. You can see it there. It says A Night Out with the Stars in blue, but then over, like, Minu and Ron there, it says Let's O. And then on the green board, chalkboard, it says Back to Basics. Because I guess that is the topic, because the topic is going to be all about how great Ash Mufareh's 360 was that we watched, which, as I just stated, wasn't really anything spectacular. The only new news is the whole, oh, we're going to be back up and running by the end of the month, next month, or in 3 months, which we're used to him kind of going, yeah, in a few months this is going to happen, and then the time comes, and then he pushes it back a few more months. Like, that's kind of just what he does here. So that's why it doesn't feel like anything really new to everyone. It's like the same old thing that he's doing. You know? Alf says, nothing to say about the products. That's funny because they seem to always have plenty to say, even when no products had yet been released ever. Yeah, but I think for some reason, you know how they say, like, it's worse when you have something and then it's gone than it is to just never get it in the first place? You know, I think it's having that effect on them. And they don't seem to be promoting products that much anymore. It's like they all just are doing their own version of shitting the light. You know? Red has fully embraced content creation. He has. Maybe he should take it one step further. Quit Onpassive and just do the boat life, like I said. If the company did have 1.4 million founders, he would have hit 100,000 a year or two ago. I think you're making a fair assumption, especially since I'd argue he's been making content for a few years, right? Like, definitely since 2019, I'd say. So, I mean, it is about 10 to 20%. So, fair. The only thing Red has hit recently is Jane. Oh, don't say that. I don't think so. I think they seem pretty happy together. All the questions were provided in advance, he said. I believe that, and I am already speculating that he had to send in all of the questions. It seems as though Ash doesn't answer anyone's questions unless they're sent to him. I've even said in the past that when they do these question and answer sessions with him on even the Oran or the Heroes webinar, when he just shows up, it almost seems staged. Because it's like he wouldn't answer just anyone's question, and nobody ever asks a real question. It's just like, why are you such an amazing leader? How is Onpassive going to save the world? And then it won't even be an answer. It'll just be all the vague shit he usually says. This was a couple of weeks ago. This one is from this past week. So I'd say about a week ago. This was the last Friday's one. I think it was on Friday. I believe. I haven't seen this one yet, and I really do want to see it because, again, that 360, I want to see them all reacting to Ash's so-called news. I just kind of like to see it. Yeah, it's the most recent. Better to have loved and lost. Yeah, but in this case, it might be the other way around for these guys because it's the dream. It's the dream that has to stay alive here. In order for this to be successful, all they need is the dream. And until the products came, the dream was really big, right? And then the products came, and I think they kind of realized a little bit that maybe it wasn't going to go as viral as they thought. And now it's like they've been taken away from them. So it's a little harder to dream now than it was probably before they had the products. Seems like a loss to them, you know? You can't watch The Shining the Light. I watch like most of them, but I find that a lot of the people that feature on them, and we were talking about this a bit today in the Discord even, a lot of people that feature on The Shining the Light are people that are new or people that are definitely victims in this. They are not the leaders. And I like to concentrate on the people that are leading the cult. So the leader, Ash Mufareh, the top people like Muhammad Kamal will react to sometimes and stuff like that, right? If they're doing videos and whatnot, we try to cover them. And then people like Marty, Red, Julie, those people we react to. I'm thinking they're doing a Shining the Light with John Barilla that you guys are probably going to want me to react to that. That one could be fun because he's also kind of a leader here. He mods a lot of the chats and whatnot. He's kind of like the male Tanya, you know? You know what I'm saying? And kind of like goes off at people just like her, but like he's a dude. That's all I mean by that. But he's also somebody that like he used to narrate Sesame Street and stuff. So he's somebody that's kind of like more of a public figure than most of the people that are in this. And I feel that Ron and Minu here, they're positioned similarly with like Red Redfern, Marty DeGarmo, Chris Johnson. You know, they're kind of the leaders, and they're people that people kind of go to not only ask questions about Onpassive and see how to talk about Onpassive and stuff, but also kind of to see how to act. And so they kind of help control the group, right? Cults usually have like their main leader, and then they usually have another group of people that kind of are the bosses and sort of ensure that everyone follows the leader's directions, the leader's rules, you know, keeps everybody in line, and then also tries to power trip a little bit, usually in some way. You know what I mean? You know, the tough ex-cop routine takes a hit when Ron admits Queen of Karma's criticism nearly put him in a nursing home. Well, yes, please, Ron, do not go off and have a fucking heart attack. But that's the thing, is that you want to be in this thing. You want to be somebody that kind of wants to be someone that people look up to in this cult-like environment, then we're probably going to look at you and go, what is this guy about? What is he doing? And this is the best way to kind of see Ron and Manu and how they kind of lead this group every week. You know? You know? How's Marty's second Onpassive channel going? Not as good as his first. And we haven't really heard about it at all. Yeah, I figured you guys would want to do the John Barilla one. And I think we should still do the Dino one. They should call it Back to Nothing instead. See, I feel like they want to change the name of this to Night Out with the Stars, but they know that people don't really know what that is. So they have to also call it Let's O. But let's O, everybody. Sounds awesome.
Thank you, Manu.
Good morning. Hi, Nora.
I have sped it up just a little.
You guys are live. All right, let me start this again here. Okay, everybody, welcome. It's Friday night. Let's go with Oran, Omeno, and a night out with the stars. And tonight we were going to talk about back to basics. Prior to going live here, I want to thank Jeffrey for a video he did today, because we used it to start it with, but we didn't get your permission to live stream it, so we didn't live stream it. So, Minnow, go ahead. You had something you wanted to say, Jeff.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar tonight. I was going to congratulate Jeffrey Morlock for his very first episode of Spotlighting Other Affiliates. And his show name is Beautiful People. And thank you. It was the first episode you posted, and it's out there. And it's just only the beginning of Jeffrey's contribution to bringing other affiliates to Spotlight. Thank you. Back to you, Ron.
Thank you, Minu. Thank you very much. And Jeffrey, since we kind of highlighted your video, put up your mic and just say a little bit to us on I found that video today, and I think it was a blessing from above that I found that, because I was so in awe that it was right on track of what topic was I come up with. So I think it really fit in, and I want to thank you very much. Go ahead and share a little bit on your inspiration of that video.
The video you're referring to is
We just played, yeah.
When Mr. Mufareh came on Wednesday on 360, if you listen to the whole thing, you know how he speaks. It sometimes appears to be a little choppy in his. He jumps all over the place. So sometimes it's nice to cut him into segments and then talk about those segments and give a little context and a little understanding about maybe where his mind is at. And that's kind of what I did with that. I do that on occasion when I do have Mr. Mufareh after an appearance.
So Carter's out here trying to get me canceled. Trying to get me canceled like Roseanne.
There's a lot of substance to what he says, but if you're not looking at it in the right way, or you're not kind of fitting the pieces together, you could watch that whole thing and come away with like half of it. So that's why I did that particular videos, because it really kind of expands it out. It gives an expanded view, if you will, about where I think.
Yeah, so Jeffrey Morlock, he released a video of him reacting to Ash's part. Very, very boring. I mean, if you want, we can watch it next week if it's something that you want to hear. But I didn't think that you guys would want to sit through it, honestly, because we already watched Ash's speech, and he doesn't add anything to it.
Mr. Mufareh is saying that we can go and where we'll be. And
this is all you need to know.
We want to get there
right here.
But it is something we can live with. We've got a plan now, and we've got something now that's concrete, and he's moving us forward at a steady pace. And you look back over the last couple of weeks, 3, 4 weeks even, especially, and when you start looking at platforms like this one here and others that are out there, and the unity that we have really pulled together with, you're really starting to see who the core members are, and I don't mean that in a slightful way, but there's a lot of us that are kind of down and out, a little bit. I don't know that I would say depressed, but it's like, you just get tired, and in the healthcare industry, we had something we used to call passion fatigue. And you just love and one day you wake up, you just like, I'm just, I need some me time. I need to just back away from all this, because it takes too much out of you. And we have a lot of folks feeling like that now in Onpassive, where life is just really coming down on them. We've seen a lot of people that are in a bad way, or whether it's financially or whether it's physically. But when you add to that they've been faithful and loyal and really waiting for this Onpassive, and it just seems like every time we turn around, we're getting kicked, and then when we're down, we get kicked again. But it's all part and parcel of the whole process and the journey, and we're not the only ones. The whole of the world is going through all of these things. So I love when Mr. Mufareh comes on and talks like that, when he gives us something that we can really sink our teeth into, and I think he did that last week. And that's why I think too that tonight, when I saw Back to Basics, because that literally is what we are doing. And we heard Mr. Mufareh say, you know what, we're going back to the way it was. We're doing what we know is the right thing to do, and we're in the glitz and the glamour of these people, these you know, these high managerial level people that are interested in titles and money, as opposed to heart and compassionate action, which is what our founding principles were. So when we talk about getting back to basics, I mean, we literally just go and look for what were we doing when we first started that made us so successful. You know, when we deviated from that and we started going, well, he changed something and started bringing others into the company. And
okay, when you deviated from that was technically when you actually started to become a real company, though, and like have products. So scares me when you say back to basics, back to when you had nothing. Yeah, okay, that's what you're doing.
Things going. We're going to be refocusing on our core mission and vision, right? Which is to revisit the founding principles and goals that drove the company's inception to start with. That's what we all fell in love with, you know, and the simplification of operations, streamlining the processes, you know, getting rid of the unneeded or eliminate the complexity, right, of stuff, and then prioritize what's essential. These are what we are calling getting back to the basics, rebuilding a strong foundation, a solid financial footing. I mean, we've always had that, and it wasn't until we had these high-powered hitters come into Onpassive that started doing funny things with the money that now we find ourselves in a bit of a quandary here, and financial hardships all the way around.
Wow.
So we need to get back to that, you know, rebuilding the.
So the people that actually you used to brag about having come and join you are now the problem here. Got it.
The strong foundations we had, reconnecting with customers. We still got 1.4 million active founder accounts, and we've got other members that have signed up, but there's a lot of them hurting, and there's a lot of them that simply can't focus right now on Onpassive because they've got other things going on in their lives. And when we reconnect with them, then we'll start to see a bigger unifying picture come into view. We're an innovative company. As we were innovating and making more products and doing tooling and resources and stuff like that, we were thriving and moving. It seemed like at some point we got away from that. I think Mr. Mufareh is going to go back to that, you know, and back to fostering a very positive culture. We kind of gotten away from that because of the challenges we've been through. You know, making sure that we're agile and adaptable, or adapting, and that we can adapt to changing markets, because the markets can change on a whim. We all know that, you know, leveraging our core competencies, which are marketing and internet tools.
I miss the era where Onpassive wasn't doing toxic positivity. But okay.
Resources, right? The OES, man, that is our bread and butter. So all of these things speak to what Mr. Mufareh was talking about, but he didn't really get into it that much in detail. He basically said, look, we've got anywhere from, 10 days to 3 months out where we're going to be back on track. And by back on track, I mean, we're going to be where we should have been 2 years ago. But we've been through the school of hard knocks. We're on the way back. I'm just saying we're in recovery phase, and I have no doubt that it's going to work.
Notice how he says in 10 days? Like, that was only scenario A, but whatever.
So I'm going to kind of stop right there and just thank you for the opportunity to speak very candidly with all of you folks. And, I just love you guys, and everybody, all of you are out there doing your thing. And that's the whole purpose. That the fact that Vince wouldn't let me off the hook until I did one of those. So, but that's what you want to do. And that's what the whole thing for me, starting up with this beautiful people thing, is that we have people just like you and just like me and just like us that are doing the little things every day in and day out with consistency. And those are the things that are really holding us. That's the glue that's holding us all together, So thank you. I appreciate
it's Sherry's iPhone
here, and I'll turn it back over to you. And I'm just looking for a very casual, nice evening with you guys. Thank you.
Jeffrey, it was special when I actually came up with this topic before I saw your video. And then when I saw your video, the title of it, I mean, it's very intriguing. And then when I played the video, I'm thinking, man, we must be psychic, because I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking, but I can't put it into words like you do. So it was an excellent video. I appreciate you doing it. And I would recommend everybody on this webinar to make sure that your people, your teams out there see this video, because,
technically the first deadline, scenario A, was end of August. The second was a month from then, which would be the end of September. And then in 3 months, so end of November, beginning of December. But as we know, that just puts us into the Christmas era again, right? And then at that point, Ash and them usually push it back till after Christmas. They're just continuing the cycle they've always done.
We do suffer. I'm suffering just like everybody else financially. Okay. It's depressing. Okay. But to me now, and you might agree, I hope, that time is nothing now. Time means nothing. It shouldn't mean anything to us because you have waited, Marty DeGarmo, Chris Johnson, Sherry, you've got 5-6 years into this. Okay. So what's 90 days, right? But 90 days is probably like a week to you guys. Okay. But then again, like you said, there were newer people that come in before the cutoff. That
what?
Probably.
Yeah, because 90 days now equals a week. So what Violet said, apparently, because no.
Thinking different than we do.
No.
Okay? I have never lost vision or hope in Ash Mufareh because I believe in him 100%. But you could actually see the pain in his eyes when he was talking 90 days out. He did not want to talk about 90 days out, and I don't blame him, because he's got to have a doctorate in the school of hard knocks. And the things that have happened to him in the last few months, I couldn't have the strength that he does. And he showed it to us because
you were
I just couldn't have done it. I would have been over there in Dubai shooting somebody probably, just going psycho on somebody. But how can you forgive somebody or people that have done what they've done to him? That you put your trust and faith into and expect to deliver what he expected of them, and then to find out they didn't, and here we go. To me, it's like a conspiracy. They were sabotaging us. They were conspiring to sabotage us before we could get ahead. And I think Ash is on the right track by going back to the basics. And that's my belief. And I'm going to be here until the end. And I hope everybody on this webinar and Onpassive feels the same way. So again, thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate it very much for letting us use your video. Sorry I didn't ask you first, but I figured you wouldn't mind. So on that.
Hey, Ron.
Yes, sir.
Just for the record, anything I ever put out, anybody wants to use it, if you want the PowerPoints, if you want the script, anything you want, I will give it to you, carte blanche, use it. However, you never have to ask me to do anything.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That's awesome. And that's Jeffrey Morlock.
Wow.
I appreciate it. Let's give him a big hand, everybody. All right.
Jeffrey is so great. No, but that's honestly what you're supposed to be thinking after he says that.
Hey, big wave.
See, they're
clapping. I saw that we had another guy that I respect and admire greatly on here. And Mike Ellis, are you here?
What a great
I thought you were going to say Marty.
He's last. Mike, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. You put out a lot of videos, great videos. In fact, your videos are the ones that really got me involved in Onpassive because you're like Jeffrey and Marty and everybody else. You speak from your heart, and you're very truthful when you speak because you don't speak of something that you don't believe in, and you don't really go on a theory. You go on the facts that you see and that you believe in. And I want to say we appreciate that. So if you would you kind of follow up? I don't think you got to see the video, did you?
Yeah, I saw it.
To see Jeffrey. Okay, great. You'll kind of follow up on your version of what's going on and back to the basics.
Well, I mean, to start with, Ron, you're going to be here to the end. Onpassive will be intergenerational, so you're going to live a long time. I mean, we're talking a couple 100 years. So glad you have that kind of longevity.
That pissed him off.
When we talk about Mr. Mufareh, as if there was any time where, at least for me, any time where I didn't understand where he was going and I didn't understand that he would get there. I've always known Ash would get to the place we want to get to. It's who he is. And I don't base that off of faith. I base that off of what Mr. Mufareh has done over the last 5.5 years. And it really has been.
No, you don't. You can't. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. No sense. Because his track record is making deadlines that he doesn't meet, making promises that he doesn't keep. all right, and then just lying. So no. If you were basing this on the history here and how Ash actually is, you wouldn't be able to say that. You have to only be here because of faith in Ash, eventually. It's even a joke in this thing about how you can't depend on him because he lies so much, never does what he says he's going to do, and by the time he says he's going to do it. Like, they laugh about it. It happens so much. So to come on here and be like, it's not because of faith, it's because of what he's done in the past, that's like, whoa, put on the brakes. Put on the brakes. Because no, I'm basing my theories on this, on what's gone on in the past with it, and how this has played out in the past. So I just sat here talking about how we're just continuing on the cycle that we usually do. It's because we've noticed a pattern in this. So, like, it's like, no, that you can't depend it on that. You just can't. I don't believe you. He's like, I saw it. Just want to move on. Mike was probably abducted by aliens, which causes him to be this way. Have any of these fools ever said anything that makes sense? I think not. That really made no sense, though. That was like a nice try, Mike. Nice try. Like, I know you really want to convince us that you're not just going by faith here, but you are. It can't be based on past actions. You think she's mixed up her makeup bag with a bowl of warm plasticine? Maybe. Poor Sherry. Poor Sherry. There was some probing involved. They probed his brain. They were like, what is wrong with this species? But come on,
been
Mike.
Extraordinary. So as far as Mr. Mufareh goes, he's golden. He will always be golden, and he will always outperform. Period. It's just who he is. It's what he does. I love your theme. Back to the basics, Ron. And Jeffrey was kind of going back and forth because there are two basics we're talking about here. We're talking about the basics of the corporate side of Onpassive, but we're also talking about the basics of the affiliate side of Onpassive. And they're two different basics. I can go wherever you want to go, Ron, but I'll kind of touch on both.
Go both ways. I don't care.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And I'll start with the corporate side of Onpassive. Yeah, we know that Mr. Mufareh has been through the ringer over the last year. When I think about what Mr. Mufareh has been through over the last year, what Onpassive has been through, I'm really amazed that we never knew anything about it. We really didn't. He kept it very, very close to the vest until he was ready to come out and start sharing with us. And that's only been, 2, 3, 4 weeks? I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. It hasn't been that long a period. And I love this about Mr. Mufareh. He always, if there's a problem, if there's something out there that needs to be dealt with, and this was pretty bad, it was really bad. He has the mindset, okay, here's the problem. What's the solution? And once he finds the solution, he rolls it out. And he's in the process of rolling that out right now. What he did with Onpassive, and really, I think Ash is probably one of the only individuals in the world that could do this. I just don't think there are that many people that could do what Mr. Mufareh has done. As he saw what was happening within Onpassive, the evil within, and I don't know exactly when he started to see it, but when he started to see it, he understood that he had to change course, and he had to do some other things. And again, this is going back to the basics of Onpassive. What do we do to right the ship and move forward? And it really is amazing what he's done over the last year to be able to do that and to put in place those things that are going to get us into scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3. Okay. And I can tell you flat out, that's done because of what he's done, because of the people he's dealing with, because of the restructuring of the corporate side of Onpassive. This thing's a done deal. We don't have to worry about it. And as Jeffrey said, he came out with the 3 scenarios.
You recently said because these people were here, you didn't have to worry about it. And now it's because they're gone and you're restructuring everything that no one has to worry.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, however you want to do it. And the reason he came out with 3 different scenarios is because maybe 1 and 2 don't work. Maybe they're not ready to do 1 or 2. And then that takes us to the 3rd scenario. The 3rd scenario is the mother lode. You guys need to get that. The 3rd scenario, regardless of what happens next week or what happens in September, and I believe some good things are going to be happening in the next week, but regardless to what happens in the next week or so, the 3rd scenario, that C, that number 3,
wow,
it is the mother lode. And it is just going to blow you away. You can't understand. You think Onpassive was good 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, and it was really, really good. And it was the concept. It was the concept of Mr. Mufareh. It was he's the brain trust. He put it all together. It was really, really good.
Oh, was it?
When we get to scenario C or 3,
it is really, really good. Why are you redoing O Connect and everything then?
So much better than anything we envisioned a year or 5 years ago or 4 or 3 or 2 years ago. It's really, really good. And Mr. Mufareh told us that. I'm not speculating. This is stuff Mr. Mufareh told us if you were listening. It's better than you can imagine. So when we start to think about the going back to the basics on the corporate side, Mr. Mufareh has done that, and he's done it. He's done it on steroids. The really cool thing about what Mr. Mufareh has right now, and he said this on the live, is
let's not take steroids. How about that? Don't do drugs, kids.
Is how quickly the people he's working with right now work through the issues and the problems of Onpassive. There's a problem, they find a solution, boom, it's done. And they don't take a year or 2 or 3. This happens very, very quickly. So the corporate side, getting back to basics, it's there. It's already done. You don't even have to think about it. Now, here's what's really, really cool. If we look at scenario 1A of Ash, we got a week. I don't have to speculate about anything, nothing. And believe me, I speculate all the time. I know I'm not supposed to do that right now, but I speculate all the time. And I've got things rolling around in my mind. I think I know what's going to happen, but I don't need to do that. We've got a week, and it could be 2 or 3 days. And Mr. Mufareh is going to come out, and he's going to explain.
That didn't age well, did it?
Everything we need to do. He's going to
narrator. And it was not in 2 or 3 days.
Tell us all exactly what we need to do. Back to basics. Corporate side, now it's our side, the affiliate side.
Yeah, when
I talk about going back to the basics on the affiliate side, I'm talking about marketing. And I know that's a dirty word. Nobody likes to use that word. Nobody can market. It's a dirty word. And what we've changed it with is share. Well, I love marketing, period. I absolutely love it. And with Onpassive, it's very, very simple. This is why I love Onpassive, guys. It hasn't changed. See, that's the thing about Onpassive. It hasn't changed. It's gotten better. Okay? Hasn't changed. It's gotten better. Onpassive is still here to change your life, to get you to the place where you can find that financial independence that we're all looking for. Okay? That's what
Onpassive went down. So did all our products. But listen, Onpassive hasn't changed. In fact, it's gotten better. Like, what do you mean?
Onpassive is here for. And in a week, we're going to know one way or another if it's going to go in a week or maybe it goes into September. And by the way, it might not be the end of September. It might be the second day of September. So we're not talking about a lot of time here. And let me hit one more thing before I go on to the marketing side of it. Ash Mufareh said that the ugliest scenario is 3 months, right? And he said, and he did this in Ash's way. He kind of stumbled through it. But bottom line, he said, we're about two-thirds the way through that. What's that mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Is it 3 months or is it 1 month? Again, I'm not going to say anything, but I think it's a lot quicker than 2025. That's not going to happen. I can almost guarantee it. That's not going to happen. And Mr. Mufareh, he put it out there in his crazy way, in his wonderful Ash way. He put it out there if you listen. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But let's get back to the basics for the affiliates. If next week Ash comes out and the OES platform comes back up, Ash is going to give us things to do. Back to the basics. Okay. Onpassive is all about marketing. This is about marketing. He's going to tell us what to do to have an advantageous effect on our business, not just Onpassive, but your business. And as he comes out and does that, everybody here, just listen to the man, do what he tells you to do, because he has your best. He has your self-interest at heart. He really does. He wants you to succeed. Onpassive was built for you to succeed, and he will continue down that road. So that's the first thing.
Business?
Now, whether it goes to September or if it goes to
like with your business with another company or your business with Onpassive. You're not really being specific with that, Mike. Right? Like he doesn't really know anything.
October, maybe, I don't know. Ash Mufareh is going to come out and he's going to guide us this whole way. And when we think about Onpassive, remember what Onpassive is going to do for each and every one of us. To start with, it's a complete digital system for all of us. Completely digital. All the tools, all the products are going to be there for your business.
What, when it comes back up?
It's also 100% automated. Okay. Not only that, but when we start to talk about the markets, when we talk about the global markets, when we talk about there's no cap on the amount of money you can make, when we start talking about all the things that Ash has put in front of us, everything's there for you to be successful. Now, when he comes out either next week or September or the following month, whatever it is, and he starts telling us what's happening, what Onpassive is going through, and what you need to do, I'm not quite sure how all of that is going to be structured, because Ash talked about the structure of Onpassive has changed a little bit. Again, I'm not supposed to speculate, so I won't talk about what's going on in my mind. I have 2 or 3 different
Literally, this whole thing has been you speculating. What do you mean?
Scenarios that could happen as we get into that scenario C or 3. It's all good. Everything that I think about, listening to Ash, what could happen, how the company could change, how the structure could change, it all benefits each and every one of us. And it allows each and every one of us over time to get to that place where you're financially independent. That's what we're all here for initially. That's what we're here for. You got to bring in the money. And in Onpassive, no one gets paid unless there's a sale. And that's where the structure that Mr. Mufareh shares with us is going to be really.
Yeah, so as soon as the OES comes back, you're going to have to pay for O-Connect again. At the very least. If it's there, that is.
Really interesting to hear. And again, I won't go into what I think it might be. Mr. Mufareh wants to tell us that when he's ready to tell us. So when you start to talk about back to the basics, and this is a subject that you could talk about for literally hours and hours. Oh my God,
they're going to break down back to the basics. There's so many things for us.
And I'll give you a couple of different levels, just very quickly, and then I'll turn it back over. But there are things, when I heard what the topic was, things started going through my mind. There, even with the affiliates, there are a couple of levels of back to the basics. There's the affiliate that's coming in, that's understanding the philosophy and the vision of Onpassive, and they fall in love with it, and they start to engage with Onpassive. That's one level, and they learn to be competent about talking about Onpassive, and that's really, really important. If you can get back to the basics, if you can become competent with the basics, you can develop wealth. It really is that simple, guys, and take that to heart. But there's another level, and I'll use Marty DeGarmo as an example. And we have a few like Marty here.
But what does that mean? Get back to the basics, like the basics of just knowing the products? Like, I don't. What do you mean?
Master the basics, and you become competent in the basics. There's always another level you can go to, and there are more basics there. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And that really never ends, and that's why Onpassive is so exciting. It never ends. There's always other places you can go. When you think about Marty DeGarmo, and I've known Marty for 10, 12 years. I've worked with Marty that long. And you won't hear this from Marty, but I'll say it for him.
Okay.
He is one of the top marketers in the world.
Oh yeah?
That's a big statement, guys.
Oh, is he?
Marty will never tell you that. I will. And it's...
Says who? What, says you and Marty?
It's because he got the back to the basics. He went from one level to another level, to another level, to another level. He never stopped learning what he needed to do to become a successful marketer. This is a really, really hard thing to do, but nothing in life worthwhile is easy, even Onpassive, as we all know. So the different levels you can go to as you start to master the basics of one level, and then
Never heard of Marty DeGarmo. And I've covered a lot of MLMs and scams and businesses here, but I think if he was the number one marketer in the entire world, even for MLM companies, okay, like we would have at least heard of him. Like, you know, we've heard of people like Eric Warre, I've covered. You know, I'd argue he's up there. You know, we know that Ash signed up the most people in GDI ever. But I hadn't even heard of that. But trust, if he was the best marketer in the entire world, you would think that he wouldn't be with Onpassive. Surely he'd be marketing something better.
The next level, you can be a Marty DeGarmo.
Right?
But when you think about that, it wasn't 2 or 3 months. It wasn't 6 months. It wasn't a year. It was 10 years, guys. That's what it takes to be competent and to be called one of the best in the world. And Marty is that. And again, Marty will never tell you that. He's just never going to say that about himself. But I can do that because I've been with him for a very, very long time.
Like, maybe Marty isn't saying it because he has no clue. He like watches us later and he's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Why is Mike Ellis lying about me? This is so bizarre.
So when you start to think about marketing, when you start to think about what we do, when you start to think about digital transformation, which we're all going through, there are a lot of different levels that we can get to. Whatever level you stop at, and I don't think you'll ever stop once you get into Onpassive, because Mr. Mufareh, he will motivate in ways you never thought possible, and you're always wanting to go further and further and further. But wherever you get, whatever your talents and your skills, wherever they take you,
find proof of
within
it,
Onpassive,
Lamar. If you go back to my first or second video on Ash Mufareh, we did find proof of it. He did get recognized by them as well for doing that. It's just, it doesn't fucking mean anything, dude. It's not like getting a Grammy or an Emmy or even really getting acknowledged for something that you accomplished while at work. There isn't really anything for it, which is what I think Ash was talking about in his little interview with Red when he was saying that, you know, he doesn't get much, even if he was successful in his other businesses and stuff. You know? So he did sign up the most people. There was a whole article about it from the time. So we do know that that is true about him. But it doesn't mean anything. Being somebody that recruited the most people in an MLM company isn't a flex. Not really anything to brag about. Andy Burks is the world's best money man, and Collins Manna is the world's best tech genius. Yeah, according to Mike Ellis, probably. Collins rolls his eyes like a slot machine. The basics, scamming people.
Because of what Mr. Mufareh has done, because of the structure of Onpassive, because of the structure not only on the business side, but on the affiliate side, you have the opportunity over time to get to that place where you will take care of those financial woes, whatever they are, and then go beyond that. And the beyond that, and I can guarantee everybody here will go beyond that. You will, just because of what Mr. Mufareh has done.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Speaking of the SEC, Ash Mufareh tried to have the case dismissed. He was not successful in having the case dismissed, but the Recovering Hunbot covered it yesterday, so please go and check that out. Go and check that out, please. By the time I could go live yesterday, it would have been around the same time she was live, and I was kind of like, why would I do that? So that's why I didn't go live yesterday. But definitely go and check that out if you have not seen it, to find out everything that went on with all of that. And then you can have a little refresh of the case again, too. Maybe if you weren't here for that time, it would be a nice little refresh.
As you can tell, I'm excited about where we are. I'm excited about what Mr. Mufareh went through in the last year. I'm glad he went through it because he learned so much. And Onpassive today is so much better than it was 2.5 years ago. You know, Jeffrey talks about we're going to go back 2.5 years. That's where we should be today.
Oh my God.
Well, we are going to be there very, very quickly. But it's not
2.5 years ago. Again, that was when you had nothing. That was before you had your OES. You only had the O Founders login place. Oh Lord. And a website. I mean, if that's what you want to go back to, but then you're not selling anything to make money, like you said.
Where we would have been 2.5 years ago. It is far above that because of what Mr. Mufareh has done, because of what he's put together. it is just a cool place to be. And we get to be in front row seats. We get to watch all of it. And Mr. Mufareh is going to walk us through step by step, step by step. And you're going to love every step he walks you through. But be ready. Onpassive is not passive. You have to come in and you have to be ready to do what you need to do, not only for the company, but for your business. And everything that Mr. Mufareh gives you to do will benefit your business. This isn't something that is altruistic. It will benefit your business, period. So I'll leave it there, Ron. There's so many different ways we could go here, but I'll leave it there and let some other people talk. Go ahead.
Mike, thank you very much. That was great, and I could listen to you all night.
That's kind of scary. Whatever Ash Mufareh tells you to do it for your business. That's kind of a scary thought. That he could just tell them to do anything for their business and they'll just do it?
Because it just, I love the vision of your mind and how you think. And
so you're calling me weird, right?
No, in a good way, though.
I'm kidding you, Ron.
In a good way. Mike, thanks again for sharing. It was excellent. Let's go to somebody else that's kind of close to these guys. Been traveling a lot. Thinks he knows how to fish, so he tries to go all over the place and catch fish. But you see him on his lives, and he's always driving the boat instead of having a line in the water. So I don't know how he can call himself a fisherman. But anyways, okay. Chris Johnson, if you would come on to the screen.
Captain Chris.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Minnow. Thanks, Jeffrey. Thanks.
Hey, listen, Mr. Orange.
Yeah,
I want to know something real quick.
For those of you guys that maybe don't remember, maybe you're new, Chris used to be Captain Chris Johnson. And he was the one with the boat. Now you guys know him as the one with the RV, and you know Red Redford as the one on the boat. But at the start of this, it was actually Chris that used to do these, like, he called them his captain vlogs. And we would come on and be like, hey, it's Captain Chris. Hey, 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 hey. And he would be like in front of his boat. So that's what they're talking about here.
You get into your philosophies about Onpassive, you know. How come every time we see you fishing, you're never fishing?
It's because I can't seem to catch a fish lately, so I go for a boat ride.
So you do a lot more sightseeing than you do fishing.
No, I actually do a lot of fishing, but here's the true story. I go out at the worst times. I should be going out in the morning, but I have my lives I got to do, so I don't. And then I usually should be going out at night when I did go out and caught fish, but I usually go between 1 and 5, which is.
I love to do fishing, Ron, but I'm in Onpassive, so I can't fish even when I'm out on the fucking water. Like, that's not good. Let Chris live, Ron.
The worst time.
Yeah, Ron, don't you know he has to do his Onpassive webinars and videos instead of going fishing?
To be honest,
for his business.
That's okay. I'm gonna have plenty.
Listen, you need to come to Florida, and I'll teach you how to bass fish. Okay.
If I'm going to Florida, I'm going to the ocean, man. You keep your bass.
Oh, okay.
Keep your bass.
All right, Chris. Well, if you would share some views with us on, your conversations and your thoughts and stuff that's going on right now.
Well,
going back to the basics.
I love Jeffrey's video. I always like what Mike has to say. Both these guys are rock stars in my book. I will call them legends, even though one of them gets mad at me when I say it, Mike. But anyway, back to the basics is a term that I've used pretty much my whole working career. And I'll give you a quick example, then I'll jump into Onpassive. Back to the basics for me was a big term that I used all the time. In the auto industry, you have a lot of managers that move in and out, in and out, in and out. They come, they don't like it, they quit, we get another manager. So I was there for 32 years. I knew pretty much about everything. So when they would come out, a new manager said, this is the way I would do it. Okay, not a problem. I'll do whatever you want me to do. And probably literally 99% of the time it did not work. And then they would come out and yell at me. And I'd say, well, I said, can you just let me do what I do? I want to go back to the basics. And most of the time that worked out. I had some pretty good bosses that eventually started trusting what I was doing and believed in doing everything right for the company. I had people that would come out and work with me and walk away and thought they should get paid. And back to the basics, you're not getting paid. That's just how I was. If I was there and you were supposed to be there, then you should be there. That's how I looked at it. So I've always gone back to the basics. And what is back to the basics means to me is you always start somewhere, but you can say you're back to the basics. And you can always come back to the basics and then redo your steps of, hey, what went wrong? Or what did you do wrong? So back to the basics is a great thing to always fall back on and say, okay, not necessarily start over, even though I'm going to use those words. Let's start over again and let's see what happened. Let's go back and see what was working. what didn't work, what could work. But as Ash says many times, you have to take risks. Sometimes you have to sail off into uncharted waters because something, might work. And if it doesn't, you go back to the basics. But you have to take risks here and there. As both the first two gentlemen, Mike and Jeffrey, said, some people just wanted to go off in their own direction and do what they wanted to do. Ash caught it, came out, seen what was going on, and said, we got to go back to the basics. In other words, they weren't seeing what he wanted them to do. They didn't see his vision. And this is what I believe he's saying, as I had to take it over.
Well, apparently he was very late in catching this, because apparently these people stole all of the money that was supposed to be for paying the bills and all the employees. But now they're like, oh, Ash is so great with his vision. He saw that this was going in the wrong direction right from the beginning. And he put a stop to it, you see? And it's like, okay, but that's not what happened.
And put it right on the right track. Back to the basics is something that every one of us can do in every one of our lives. Something's not working in your household. You can go back to the basics. What did I do wrong? We can always say that. What did I do wrong? Because that's what I did my whole life. God, what did I do wrong? What did I miss? What did I miss?
Why does it have to be about doing something wrong?
And as a man, I could say this, and every one of you will get a chuckle. We got our kids Christmas. We don't need directions. We can put it together. And there's always one or two parts that's supposed to be somewhere else. And like, what do we say? Wow. Uh-oh, I should have read the directions. Basically, back to the basics. I did that a million times. Matter of fact, I still do it. I've tore motors apart, small motors. I've never done a car motor, and I was pretty good at it. But every once in a while, I would miss a part on there, and oh man, I knew that. Back to the basics. Go back to the drawing board. What didn't I put on? I should have put on this. So it's really part of everyone's life. Back to the basics, because none of us are perfect.
I used to build motors, and sometimes I would miss parts, and then I would have to go back to the basics. It's like, now we know why you did not advance in your career, as you said.
Literally, no one is perfect. I'm going to say that. There was one man, and you all know who he was. And Ash Mufareh had said, I got dubbed. Back to the basics. I got fooled. Back to the basics. He knew what he had to do. He's taking control of that situation, and it's sad. I mean, it really breaks my heart, because I just know a lot of people in Onpassive that really, really need this, want this, like yesterday, the day before, a month ago. And you've heard all of us say it. I'll say it again, is whatever happened, and I'm sure we'll find out in the future, these people stole people's dreams. They took away the help they needed right now. I mean, right now you have Bangladesh going through a huge crisis with flooding. I chatted with Mafus a little bit today, and food has started 2 years prior to go. We would have a lot of money generated to actually help out Bangladesh. So if you do, and I'm going to put this out there, if you do want to donate or help out Mafus, you can go to his Facebook and you can check that out. But that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be helping each other. Back to the basics. I think if governments would go back 100 years, 50 years, and really see what they've really messed up for the world. And like I said, they didn't just mess up everything. I mean, not everything.
Let's not do that. That's not a good idea at all. Please, as a woman.
It's perfect, of course.
Please?
But they don't really look at back to the basics. Back to the basics for me in a global world
voting.
Is first things first. Why are people starving? Why are people starving? Why are people struggling? They don't look at back to the basics. I wish I'd have someone come on and say, we're going back to.
Right, but 50 years ago, they were also starving, Chris. That's what you meant with that.
The basics, back to the original Constitution and all that fun stuff. And I'm not turning this political. I'm just saying, using it as example. And I'm going to change the subject a little bit. I went to a casino for the first time in 8 years. My son and I, we were up north. And I don't normally do that stuff. And he said, can we go try it? Let's go. I said, okay. And he won some money. He won $800. I'm not going to outsay it, which good for him. And he looked at me and I said, you ready to go? And he looked at me again. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Never, ever get addicted to the win. That's what keeps bringing you back here, because that's not always going to happen. People get addicted to winning that big money. Oh, I could do it again. And then they go back.
Chris, what if I told you that you actually have a better chance of winning at the casino than you do of making money in Onpassive? Real stats, dude. Real stats. More people win at the casinos than they make money in MLM companies.
Back and that $800, 2 hours later is down to $2. How do I know that? From experience. Many times in Las Vegas. The only people that really win in the casinos is the casino owner. I'm sure you heard that before, but when I think about Onpassive, and I'm not comparing it to a casino, Onpassive, back to the basics, is a win-win situation. You've heard it all the time. No matter how many times you pull that slot handle in Onpassive, you're going to win. You're not putting money constantly into Onpassive. A lot of people still don't understand that. A lot of our, what we call the naysayers, still have never said that. We haven't been given money, Ash Mufareh, for 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, or whatever. And that's what I probably get confused on, what people say, we're a cult, whatever. And I'm not going to kid you. It tears me apart when I hear that kind of stuff. Are there other companies blooming right now? Sure they are. But there's always going to be other companies blooming. Most of those companies went through the same struggles that we're going through now. We all know.
That's a lie, but also you are a cult, unfortunately. Multi-level marketing is already a commercial cult. And the fact that you're all in this thing, complete loyalty to each other, where you follow rules set by Ash, and you worship him like he's a god. He has like full control over you and your future. That's a cult. That's a cult. You don't even have a product that you're selling in this one. But you're still sitting here every day doing these webinars. Unfortunately, Chris, that's what it is. Ash is the house. The house always wins.
No, now for a fact, even in Onpassive, there was corruption. Ash Mufareh, he caught it, and I'm happy that he did. But he did say something last week.
Barely not soon enough.
He was glad that it happened. It's going to better us. It's going to take us back to the basics. Climb back up that ladder and see what rung we missed. I mean, there's a lot you could say. I agree with Mike. You could talk about this forever. But it's a very, very important thing to me as the loyal people in this company. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we might have 1,400,000 founders, or whatever you want to call them, early birds. We got so many names, I get confused. But not all of them are loyal. Like Jeffrey was bringing out, there's some people, and I agree with Jeffrey 100%. You're still in it no matter what. If you want to take a break, it's okay to take a break because it's not going to change. Because I'll use me because I don't want to call out names. If Chris Johnson is tired and burned out of doing this, Chris Johnson is just going to take a break, but I'm not going to quit on it. I just might need to step away for a minute and take a breather. And then I think if people step away and just not pay attention, we got a lot of negative channels that say a lot of bad things about us, and too bad for them that they have to do stuff like that. But that's the world. I mean, that really is the world. No matter what we do, someone's going to say something bad. You've heard us say that a million times, but I will say it again. I believe in, I'm just going to say, I believe in Ash Mufareh because everything, listen, how do I say this? Ash Mufareh has always given us great advice. As long as I can remember, he's asked us to dream bigger, which is unheard of in most cases. He's asked us get in the best shape of your life. I've watched people in this company transform themselves from Lori Lund quitting smoking, myself, Marty, John White, Darrell Workon, changing their eating habits, and just like, wow. Now, to me, that's worth billions of dollars right there.
Yeah, but is that because of
really no one's made
Onpassive?
any money from, but believe in it, have changed. The positiveness, that's even a word. Is that a word, Mike? I can't say those words. Okay. Has come out of Onpassive. But I still say to anyone that really is like having second thoughts, they just step away for a couple minutes. Listen, my big head, Marty's big head, Red's big head, Julie, Michael, Rod, Minnow, Lister, Narelle, Jeffrey, all these people, if something happens or pops, you're going to know about it because there's like 50 billion Facebook groups that say, oh my God, we're back, it's on. So take a break. That's all. I went on a little yeehaw here, not necessarily for a vacation. The second part was a little bit for me because you know why? I kind of need a break from my personal life and I just want to get away for a little bit. But back to the basics. is a wonderful thing. I really have used that my whole life. And if you all think about it tonight, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, what can I do to go back to the basics that's going to change my life better? You already made the step of getting into Onpassive. I don't care what anyone says. You can call me crazy, call me names. I got family that does it, friends that do it, just like you all. But I'm still here. I'm still here. Why? Because I believe in it. Why? Because there's at least a million other people who believe in it. Maybe they're not always, maybe they're a little upset it hasn't happened yet. But I think in the future, when Ash talks about what really happened, I think people have more of an understanding of what's going on in this company. I think I understand it. For what he's saying, I think I get a little bit. But does that defer me to say I better go hide in the closet?
Okay.
I better not turn on my computer? Hell no. I'm going to keep doing this like you're all going to do this. I'm not afraid of anybody that says something bad about me.
Well, nobody's doing anything to
bad
you.
things about any of you or Ash Mufareh. I don't. I'd rather them beat on me all day than pick on my friends. But that's what Onpassive Vivians do, if that's even a word. I don't even know who made that one up, but I know Ash is terrible at making little things, which you see I tease him all the time about. But this is a great company, guys. And really all he's ever asked us to do is just wait and be patient. Let me get this done. Now it's back to the basics. Some things happen. All right. But in my 32 years at Ford Motor Company, man, I had crap like this, stuff like this happen every single day. And guess what? I stayed there for 32 years. Some things that affected me, something that didn't affect me. But I just didn't give up. I'm like, man, 32 years is nothing. I can do it, boy. It goes by fast. I'm not going to lie. But every business, every company, every family go through something with a little bit of corruption in it. And if you say you've never had that, you're wrong, because every one of you work for somebody and you've seen a little bit of wrong in what they were doing. Or Ash Mufareh is about us. He's about family. He's about changing things for the better.
Oh, yeah?
And people that don't see that, they're blind. I feel sorry for them, but
we feel sorry for you because he took $108 million and pocketed it. And then could have taken all of the money for O-Connect and pocketed it too. And now he's claiming that other people have stolen it. The evil they group. Who you're claiming is all the elite people now that had joined Onpassive that you're now saying are bad people. Like, we're wondering, like, who are you talking about? People like Muhammad Kamal, Dr. Susan who left, Muhammad Nazal who left? Because these were all people who you bragged made Onpassive better at one point.
Say this again. I don't turn anyone away from Onpassive, even though some people I don't care for or I don't like for what they say, but they're all coming back. I promise you that. Ron, I'm sorry, rattled on. Again, Mike and Jeffrey, thank you for the phenomenal speech, and whoever else talks. Minnow, thank you very much also.
You know, Chris, I've never heard a pumpkin go so long and speak so much. But
Marty's been texting
sharing
me.
on your.
He said to me,
and
Ron, you know what Marty's texting me? I said, well, I haven't. I said, I just turned my camera on. He goes, okay, can you turn your shirt off then? Great.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Appreciate you sharing with us, and it's coming. Let me hear you say that again.
I'm not allowed to say that anymore. I can say this: we're back, baby.
What?
We are back.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
What do you mean you're not allowed to say it's coming? And what do you mean you're not allowed to say? You're a grown-ass adult. You're a grown adult. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. What do you mean I'm not allowed to say it's coming? So you can say, oh, this thing might be back in a few days, but you can't say it's coming? Bizarre.
Chris, thank you again. But what I want to do is I'm going to go to one more guy that I really love, and then I'm going to let Minnow have some things to share with us. And then if we have some time, we might open it up for some questions of these guys. But tonight,
bizarre.
You tell you all out there that we're going back to the basics and from the guys that we respect. So just hang in there. And right now I'm going to call on my dear friend from Jersey, the head of the Onpassive Mafia, Marty DeGarm.
Oh, sure. I like that title. No, I haven't been able to be involved at all tonight because of stuff going on here, but I've got an open window. I know it's back to basics. Yeah, I realized a long time ago that Ash Mufareh has a very rare pair of glasses. They're rose-colored. and he only sees good in people. And when you wear those rose-colored glasses, sometimes you get burnt by evil people because he's not looking for that. So it creeps up and grabs you. He'll never change. And when you say back to basics, Ash now, knowing what he knows, whatever that might be, he knows that somewhere along this path, the last couple of years, little things that kind of click in his head, now he knows, okay, that's what that really meant. He had to take his glasses off for a minute, and he goes, okay, that's what that meant. The next time, that's what that meant. So he has a picture of the bad area, however long it might have been, probably given clues, but he had the glasses on. He looked at the positive in everybody. When somebody first comes on or somebody first meets Ash, he digs as hard as he can to find the good in that person. That's who he is. I don't want that to change. Even though he got burnt, got beat up, it happens. But you know, if you don't take a calculated risk, you become average. You can never move ahead if you don't take that calculated risk. And during that calculated risk, especially if you have those very special glasses on, you're going to get burnt. You are going to get burnt. Now, did he learn? Absolutely. And when
he says to all the people they are scamming, manipulating, taking advantage of,
find out we're all going to learn. It happened to all of us. Because believe it or not, we all join in here by caring about someone else more than we care about ourselves. That's why we're here. I don't care what religion you are, I don't care what color you are, I don't care what country you're from. Think about everybody that's here. What do we have in common in here? We saw Onpassive from the heart, not from the eyes.
Who you are,
because logically, it probably didn't make sense to people. And that's good for me. Because it did for me and it did for 1,400,000 other people. And that's why we're here. So Ash, if we're following him, we understand him because we're like him.
Yeah.
Is he extremely caring and loving and looking for good? Yes, absolutely. Do I want him to change? No. Do I feel bad that bad things happen?
He's not wrong. A lot of the people in this, that is true of. Just not you, Marty.
Absolutely. It was gut-wrenching. It's like it happened to a family member. Am I mad over it? Yes. If I was 20 years younger, I'd be body slamming some people.
It's an invisible enemy. They act like somebody walked up to Ash, punched him in the face, and then stole all his money. And it's like, you don't even know what happened. You have no clue what he's even talking about. And then you all decided it was the money was all stolen. That's why you don't have it now. It's like, come on, man. What happened? You don't know. So maybe just don't speculate, like you said, but you're going off like you're all victims of this crime.
But
it's crazy.
He knows what happened because I don't have those glasses, okay? They're a little bit shaded, but they're not rose-colored. I love people, I believe in people, but I'm not at that level. I'm glad he is. That's what I love him for, because he always looks at the good in everything. He doesn't even understand evil. It's a different language to him. So when it happens to him, he's so caught off guard. Wait, that couldn't have happened. Why would somebody do that? He doesn't get it. It's sad, but it's true. So I'm glad he's that way. Now, what do we do in return? Well, he's about to make all of us the best marketers in the world. You're going to push a button. It's all on automated. You point here, click, click.
And I don't get how you don't pay your employees for like 7 months and then threaten them and use intimidation tactics with them when they ask for their money and expect them to work for free. And I don't understand how you pocket $108 million for yourself that you told everyone was going to be used to make a company for them so that they could all make generational wealth. And I don't know how you look at communities that don't have access to clean water and promise them water filtration systems and then basically go, well, fuck all those people. Like, I don't understand that. I find it very interesting to try to figure out why the hell he's doing those things. That's why we're here. You know?
And you take years and years of trying to figure out this moving target and you get it in automation. That's where we're at. All we were ever asked to do while he's clearing the land. Remember, he didn't build a business. He had to clear the area before he built it because it's never been done before. He couldn't go in a book. He couldn't look it up. He couldn't go to other business people and say, hey, I want to build a business like this. For one thing, they'd say, you're absolutely insane, until they saw his glasses.
No.
Oh, okay, I get it.
They say you're absolutely insane because his idea of products have already been done 500 times, and his ideas don't have anything that other places don't already have. So he's copying other people's ideas, and then he's expecting to somehow create a new world where instead of profits, money comes in just endlessly, but the company runs off of love. And that literally makes no sense. So when he goes in there and he tells people, yeah, we're just going to be giving people generational wealth, they say, okay, well, how are you making money? Well, we're going to sell a video conferencing app. Okay, but that's not enough. Well, we have 50 other product ideas. Okay, but all these other companies have these products for free. People aren't going to pay for them. Well, listen, I don't think that you should need money to run a company. I think that a company should run off of love, but then somehow everyone in the company should be millionaires and get generational wealth to help save their communities and all of humanity. And yeah, anyone who hears that is going to be like, yeah, that's fucking crazy. Like, that can't happen. That's not a thing. That's not going to work. You know, like, it sucks. I wish our world just ran off of kindness. But unfortunately, no. And to kind of have this outlook of like, the whole world is evil and corrupt because it runs off of money is a little bit warped of a view. You know, that's kind of why we're like, wow, you're creating your own different mentality over here of how the world should be. And that's culty. Again.
Anyway, he built this business, clearing the land, getting rid of the landmines, making the road flat so we could walk on smooth ground in a sunny day. All we need to do is keep the faith, follow him. He will give instructions, and we need to be good soldiers, men and women.
Oh my God, I sound like I'm listening to someone talk about fucking Applewhite. Yeah, we just gotta wait for Marshall's instructions, guys. The spaceship is coming, I promise. Just buy the Nike shoes. Just buy them, damn it! It's coming! That's what this thing literally reminds me of. I say it all the time. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, am I covering an MLM company? Or am I covering a fucking doomsday cult? Because the way that they keep moving the goalposts here with their deadlines and how humanity is about to get saved and all that, it feels like a doomsday cult sometimes. Like, but it's so weird to be like, just wait for Ash's instructions, guys. He's just gonna tell us what to do, and then we'll do the thing, and then we'll just be automatic internet millionaires like Michael Williams. Woo woo! Like, that's insane. It's insane, Marty.
Women and do what he needs done to push this thing over the goal line. And when we do, we all score.
Hello, Angel.
All score. Whatever I can do, whatever Mike Ellis can do, Dan Street, and anybody else that I can share with you to help you go get the extra point, kick a field goal, whatever little points, we're going to offer that to people. I want everyone to win. I failed as a marketer because I worry too much about the people that we brought in can't do what we're doing.
Well, that's not what fucking Mike Ellis just said. He told us that you are the best marketer in all the lands. The whole world, he said. The whole world.
It was a horrible feeling. First, it was the race to learn. And then when you learn, you find out what you know doesn't feel that good. Because at that point, now you treat people as 101, 102, 103, 104, 1001, 1000. That's how you treat them. You talk to their face, but you can't mean what you say. Not in MLM. I'm sorry. A lot of people get mad at me when I say it. They got mad at me when I said it. When I was in MLM.
Then you're just a cult.
That's the facts. Here, Ash Mufareh built a business for himself and scaled it so all of us can have the same business. So if you want to know what Ash does, you're getting that right now. You all are all going to own your own business exactly how Ash would build it for himself, even better. So we're back to basics because he went back and he saw these little spurts, knowing what he knows now. Oh, this is when that started.
Oh my God.
And because he was smart, he might have rose-colored glasses. He might love people too much.
How did this somehow make Ash smarter to them? They're like, yeah, he got duped apparently, and everyone took all of our money and ran. But you know that Ash, he's mighty smart and a really good business runner. I'm just like, they can really take anything and twist it, can't they? It's crazy to watch, but it's just like, this one's kind of bullshit.
You might trust people too much, but he's not stupid. And he went back and said, okay, we got to go back to here. And like Mike Ellis said, I did hear that part of it.
We don't even know.
When we go to the next chapter, we're going to be blown away. Because through that
we have no
mistake,
clue.
or through those issues, he knows what good is. He was unsatisfied probably for 2 years. But because he loved people and he trusted people and believed they meant the best for the company, he helped.
Not like he pocketed $108 million. Just spent it on himself and his family. Couldn't even go out to dinner with you guys or something. I mean, that would be crazy, right?
As long as he possibly could. That's who Ash is. The least we can do is march behind him. We can at least be the wind beneath his wings. And that's absolutely what I'm going to do.
The wind beneath my wings.
Care what he does or what he wants to do. I've been doing this for a long, long time.
Really?
There is no one on the planet that would do what Ash is doing for us right now. No one. Okay, I'm done.
That's a lie.
Really?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. We can listen to you more if you want to speak.
Ron, let me say a couple things just real quick. When I listen to Marty, he sparks things in my mind. There are things that are really, really important for you to understand. I talked about how good Marty is, and Marty's very, very good. I've been working with him probably too long, but he's very, very good at what he does. Now think of what Mr. Mufareh has done, not in the last 5.5 years, but the last year. What Mr. Mufareh has done for each and every one of us, and this is so cool. If you get this, you're not going to sleep tonight.
Okay.
What Mr. Mufareh has done has made you as good as Marty is, and it took Marty 12 years to get where he's at today.
What?
You're going to be able to do what Marty does, what I do, what Dan does, what Jeffrey does, what a lot of people do within Onpassive. You're going to have that same ability simply because of what Mr. Mufareh has done, the products that he's made for us, and he's going to show us how to use them, how to make them very, very effective. And then we start talking about the traffic, which Marty is a genius when it comes to traffic. You have all of that. And
okay, that's why until Onpassive, again, you weren't successful, allegedly. Still aren't, but you like to pretend you are here now.
Take you 10 to 12 years. Okay, maybe you've been on Onpassive 5 years. Okay, that's okay. Live with it. It only took you 5 years. It didn't take you 10 or 12 years. But as we come into Onpassive, as we get into the C scenario,
like he can write his damn
everybody
name.
here is going to be able to do what it took Marty to do in 12 years. That is extraordinary. And not only that, but the success that's going to bring.
Kind of scary to think that out of Mike Ellis, Dan Street, and Marty DeGarmo, that Marty's the brains here. Just like apparently out of Marty, Red, and Chris. Guess what? Marty's the brains there too.
Sleep tonight, guys. The success.
I know you don't want to believe me. I know you don't want to believe me. But it just might be the truth.
That's going to bring each and every one of you. And when I talk about success, I'm talking about money.
Money's bad.
You're going to be ecstatic.
Okay.
And this is all the brilliance of Mr. Ash Mufareh, as Marty said. He put it together for himself, and then he gave it all to us. It really is that simple.
What?
I don't know anybody that has that kind of heart that would do that
disappear.
for the people in Onpassive. They're just not out there. They're not out there at all. Ash is unique, period. Ron, I'll turn it back to you. I just wanted to put that in real quick.
But let me put a disclaimer in real quick. I'm not that good. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not.
You can say what you want, Marty, but we have our own opinion. Okay. Marty, thanks for sharing. Mike, thanks for sharing with us.
The reason Marty's that good is because of Dan and Mike.
Right. And Don.
That was a joke, guys. That was a joke.
Thanks for telling us.
That was good. Okay, before we go to my beautiful co-host,
I had no clue.
Jeffrey, any follow-ups? What you heard? You're good? All righty. Manu?
Oh, Lord. I think that before Manu, we need to have a little break, don't we? We'll be right back.
Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy. No one fucks with my hose. The lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Now, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Wait, do you have a condom? You don't have one somewhere? Yes. Oi, excuse me there, sir. Do you have these directions? Sure, you just go down that way and make a turn. Don't let her know that your dinger is almost a no-go. Get Tiny Dinger condoms to you discreetly. It's very important to choose the right size, so make sure that you get your tiny size. Don't be caught without a condom. No. Get Tiny Dinger condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Located at your local CVS, pharmacy, Rexall, Shopper, Drug Smart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand. get it. You're into feet, and not many girls are also into feet, but you finally found your dream woman. We got your souls covered now. Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Dinger Condoms, trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand, and the same people who brought to you Sexual Endorphin Spray, trademarked. We have now created the Foot Fetish Fantasia Spray. When you're rubbing on her toes, take a deep breath in and smell the sweet aromas of the toilet bowl, the tire shop, dead flowers, and your nana's perfume. After all, it will turn you on more than just her pinky toe will. This little piggy has been to the market and grabbed themselves a bottle of the Foot Fetish Fantasia Spray, trademarked. It made it so much easier to wake to my ex-girlfriend's feet after she posted up her beach trip vacay photos. Grab your bottle now and make that nasty foot fragrance vanish just like a ghost. Located at CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Kmart, Chaz R Us, and in your favorite foot fetishist nightstand. Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger Diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger Diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock Core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger Condoms and Fantasia Foot Spray. Buy Tiny Digger Diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's sponsor.
Yes, now are you ready for Oh Me New? Because she's about to be the one speaking with us next.
Here's some thoughts with this, would you?
Thank you. I have been listening over and over to Mr. Ash, and so I just echo what he said and to just remind myself where we are. Back to basic, Mr. Ash is taking us back to the time when he empowered people to dream again, creating a wonderful atmosphere that resonated on many levels.
What?
Talked about being fully committed to our mission and ready to press on with renewed energy, bringing that original positive momentum back into full force.
When did
That's
it
back to
leave?
basic. Returning to good vibes, rekindling the optimum harmony. Those were his words, remember? And collective spirit that made those early moments so special. As Mr. Ash said, our focus is on hope and
So, I mean, we're going to go back to a time where Ash is doing 7-hour webinars where he just rambles on for 7 hours at us, because I could do without that.
Moving forward, it's not about dwelling on setbacks, but about pushing ahead with renewed belief in what is possible. You stay excited, stay engaged. After everybody has everything that they said, I don't know what else to say. Thank you.
So fake.
Thank you, Manu. I appreciate it. I'm going to go back to gallery view right now. And
she like read that off of notes.
It is 10:30. We can go to 11 o'clock if we want to, but I'm going to open it up for people to ask these guys some questions if you want. But there's one rule. From now until whatever happens, do not call these guys and ask them, when's it going to happen?
Oh,
that was like asking them, when are we going to launch? Okay? That's not allowed anymore. Okay? That's a violation. So do not call these guys and say,
wow,
when's it going to happen? Well, he said this and he said that. When's it going to launch? Folks, we're beyond that. We're beyond that. So
okay.
Please. So if you want to ask a question,
don't
raise your hand. Since we're on this platform, you'll have a hand. And 2 minutes. Well, Marty just raised his hand. So 10 minutes. Okay. And no, I just kidding. Marty, go ahead.
May I say something before you say something, Marty? Even though you said we have half an hour left, but I'm willing to stay here, Ron, if you have to go to as long as everybody wants to stay. This is a platform everybody looks forward to. It's once a week. We have stars here on the stage. I will be here. So back to
oh my God.
That's no problem. You are the webinar.
Like some shade there of like, Ron, we gotta stay here for longer than that, okay? What are you talking about? Salami says, I love the Zoom logo in the bottom right. Because Jelly says, I like the O Connect logo in the bottom left.
Our queen, though, okay? Go ahead, Marty.
Yeah, I have one question. Jeffrey, when are we going to launch? I'm just kidding. I'm joking, Jeffrey.
Weren't you listening? Mike just told us.
Actually, Jeffrey, you told us at the very beginning. We already know all that. You don't even, no one needs to ask that question. We know it.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are terrible. So you violated the rules right off the bat, okay?
The stars are here.
I'll tell you. All right, well, let's go to the land of the big rabbits. Miss Narelle Warcan. Go ahead, Narelle.
Thank you, Ron. Hello, everyone, and lovely to see you all. Thank you to those who've spoken and shared. I think it's very male-dominated tonight, so I'm going to bring in a little bit of a feminine here, just to sort of even it up a little bit. Sorry, Manu, your sharing is always beautiful. I don't mean that. It just seems to be a lot of gentlemen talking tonight, except for Chris, because he swings both ways and shows his emotions. So, but thank you. I just wanted to, I suppose, bring to light, because when I first heard your topic, I thought, back to basics. What the heck can I talk about that? You know, like, how do you sort of resonate with what that topic is? And there was so much shared tonight. Both Jeffrey, thank you so much for doing that video with Ash. It really stands out as a understandable, I suppose, in breaking it down that little bit more, because a lot of us are pretty basic people. So sometimes it's nice to be able to have that person bring it about for us to understand better. And Mike Ellis, you're always amazing, because you give us what you give us what we need and a little bit more. And it's up to us to find out what that little bit more is. So I really enjoyed that. But when I thought about it, back to basics, some people think of it as if it's a negative. Okay, they don't look at that as being a positive. They look at it as being a negative. So, I had to go back to basics. We had to start again. You know, that platform. But going back to basics is a safe environment. It's a secure starting point, a platform for where we can go back when things do go wrong in our life. And believe you me, I've had many of those in my life. You know, and you can look at this yourself. Look at your own life. Where did you have those places that, you know, things went wrong? You know, somebody said something wrong. You had a relationship breakup. You had all of these things happen in your life. Your business fell apart. You know, your partner ran off at the secretary's daughter. You know, like, there's things in your life and you forget to look back at those things. I always say never look back, because you're not going that way, right? But you need to look back to see how far you've come from the choices that you had to make at those times. So we all made, what I wrote down is, we were all in the right place at the right time. Remember that when you made a choice to come into Onpassive, you were in the right place at the right time. Who you came in, what tape you listened to, you know, what video you watched, whatever, it's got nothing to do with it. You were in the right place at the right time because you've got the right heart. And I said this the other day, that you are all still here. What are you here for? If you've got something else better, if you've got something else, you know, that things are happening, or life is better doing something else, right? Then what are you still here for? Because you made a decision how long ago? You know, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, that this sounded like something you were looking for. And along the way, you grew. And when you look back, you go, oh my gosh, that's when I grew. And I came out there and I did this and I said that. And then you grew a little bit more. And sometimes Ash would tell us stuff and it didn't happen, because we ourselves know in our own life that we can say things and sometimes they don't happen. We tell our children stuff and it didn't happen. And we're sad and we're sorry about that. But we can't go back and change it. Nobody here that I know of can go back and change a day prior to, or a minute prior to where they are now. You know, we can look back and see how far we've come. I know my growth.
I tend to make promises to my child that I can't keep, but I don't know, maybe that's just me.
Onpassive has been immense, and it's taken time. And yes, I was teary, and yes, I was this, and yes, I was that, you know, just like we all were. And just like I see the growth
6
in many
years,
others.
though,
So
to
going back to
start?
basics isn't a negative. It's coming back to a place of safety, a place of security, where we can say, let's do this. It's a really solid platform. Okay, because that's what Ash built right from the beginning, was a very solid platform. So thank you for having me here. I hope I came of a little bit of value from a feminine side. But yeah, just take a look at, where you've come from. And you too, Chris.
Thank you,
Love
Nora.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Manu.
Yeah.
Narelle,
Sherry,
I didn't know I was the only one that thought that about Chris, but thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that.
all right, Sherry, your version of Back to the Basics, please.
Well, it's been so wonderful just listening to everybody else that
Right. Or Sherry.
I know my 2 cents matters, as they say, because for one thing, you all matter. And back to the basic is the main reason why Ash had this, created this, was to help others, to help our world. I know everybody knows I'm going to say what I'm going to say already, but that's the basic main reason why he created this. And I think as things went on, things kind of slipped through, and I know that he had different. He has like 3 plans for the same project. So he has already things, if that one didn't work, this one will work. If that one didn't work, this one will work. So he had backups for everything. So
know what that means?
Back to the basics to me means so much, because the creation of why he made this is the main important part. Like you were saying, Manu, and also everybody else is saying, it can mean so many things. But the basic to me in this company is to help correct the corruption. And then he caught corruption. I remember him saying a couple times on the webinars the past couple months, he's finding out about the corruption. And I think he meant on things he was trying to do that were kind of blocking him, because we're doing it different than anybody else. It's not about the money, it's about helping the world. And I think that he's caught on to, he's found a lot of pitfalls in that. And he was finding out, because he even said himself that there was so many corruption, like he knew there was corruption, but he didn't realize how bad it was. And so he kind of figured that out also throughout his little journey of our own company, which there always is some
and there's always this weird savior complex that he has, where everybody else is bad, everyone else is corrupt. But remember, he is the solution to the corruption to the corruption. He's not corrupted, everyone else is.
Little bad apples in every company. Just happened we had a couple of more than we expected. So and Ash is so loving, and like what Marty was saying, and he'll forgive them. And in life you have to, I've been through some things, and I've had to forgive the other person. I'm not making this about me or anything, but in life we get hurt. And people hurt us, maybe not intentionally, maybe they were brought up that way, who knows? But that's why one of my main things that I thank God for this platform that Ash has created, I'm able to reach more people. And I never knew that was my passion, to let people know they're loved, they're important, and they matter. And I don't know if that just came from all the different scenario things that happened to me in life, but I've always had to forgive them. So I know Ash is forgiving them. Sure, it still will hurt. Sure, he may still think about it, especially since it hurt not just him, but employees, and it hurt not just employees.
Right? Angel says, what about Ash makes any of them think he would forgive the bad apples? He speaks so cruelly about people he thinks he's better than. He's not a forgiving person at all. Not at all. It's so weird. Sherry's making me sad because she makes me feel like somebody's really hurt her in her life. Sherry's your happy space. Good.
But it hurt the pioneers in this company. So, and he's trying to get somewhere to help our world be better. And then all this kind of things just kind of tumbled and crashed. But so we're back to the basics, meaning we're moving forward, which I knew was still going to happen. I had no bumps about it, no matter when he said there's a little bump in the road, no matter if he said, oh, it's going to take this amount of time. I don't care, because I know what this is going to do for the world, for the earth, for the people.
Okay.
And that's back to the basics, is remembering that the people matter in this world. You matter in this world. Your little saying, even if you think you're saying something that doesn't matter, it matters to somebody.
Yeah, Sherry, what about the employees in Dubai and Hyderabad that are waiting for their wages that have been outpaid since January? Hey, do they matter?
That little thing you said, like, Narelle, you always touch me somehow. You said something, you always touch me somehow. So no matter, even though you
crying?
think you're not important and saying something is important, you have something that's important that might be touching somebody else. So remember that you're important, and we are, the basics is back to helping our world to be more loving, more peaceful, and more equal. Let's help our world. I love that we're helping to correct the corruption.
Damn it.
And helping humanity. And I love everything that you guys do. Jeffrey, you're phenomenal. And Mike, you as well. And Marty, everybody brings their own little flavor and brings it all back. And Darrell and Ron, you two as well. Everybody who spoke, you bring your own flavor, and it touches somebody in each and every little way. Thank you so much. I love you guys all pieces. And remember, you matter.
Lord.
Thank you very much, Sherry. That was beautiful. You know, Sherry, I think we were the luckiest of a lot of people, because you, myself, Chris, Jeffrey, we have been actually been able to sit down with Mr. Mufareh face to face, meet him, hear him, and see in his eyes that he is a man of passion and heart.
See, like, they act like meeting Ash Mufareh is some kind of crazy world privilege that you get. Like you're sitting down with a god.
Okay, business is at the end of the line for him. Okay, people is his passion, and we were able to see that in Boston. And I feel very, very blessed to be able to be one of them that went to Boston. I really like what he said during 360. The biggest thing that really caught me is when you say he forgives. Probably does. I don't know. Okay, it would be very hard for me to do that. Maybe it's because I'm just a rusty old top. Okay, but I've seen a lot of corruption in my time. I've seen a lot of crime in my time. So that's what made me a skeptic. But I've never had that feeling since I've joined Onpassive. From the first time that I spoke with him or watched him or met him in person, when I met him in person, just reinforced it. Okay, that this guy is legit. He is speaking from a heart that's huge. Okay, and he means what he says. So, but the thing that got me what he said was, no matter what happens,
this is from this past Friday,
these people will face their final judgment. Okay,
final judgment,
and that meant so much to me when he brought it back to that point and say, I can forgive. But I don't know how much justice, they're going to have to face some justice over what they did.
It was in
the
police.
Ultimate justice is from their maker and our maker. Okay. And if I was them, I'd be shaking.
Oh, he did scam Chan.
I don't know about you guys, but I would be shaking in my shoes. So who else wants to speak? Just raise your hand. Okay. How about Myra? Myra, you want to say something?
Oh my.
Thank you, Ron, and hello, everybody. I wasn't going to say anything because you all have said it all. I mean, it's like repeating things and in my own words, and the words are not going to be exactly the same because my Spanglish is not, it never come across the right way, but I just, every time I think about what's happening and I think about what Ash say about the 2 years that we kind of lost, it makes me sad. It makes me sad not because of me, because I'm struggling. We are all here for the same reason, but it makes me sad for all the people that are actually suffering, waiting for this to really unbuild so they can have a chance of their lifetime, that's what makes me sad. But then again, things are always going to happen, especially in business, because, this is the only way people grow up in business, in the personal level and in business as well. And I was just reading the other day something about, I don't know if I'm going to go off the subject, but I was reading something about the painter, Monet. He was an impressionist style of kind of paint. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
The painter
and I was reading about it, and I saw that when he started his painting, was another painter at the time, and the last name was similar. I think it was Manet instead of Monet, and he was accusing him of not painting of making the paint, they not finish his painting. His painting was not original, it was just like a slapping, right? And he still went on, Monet still went on, named his painting Impressionist style art, and he made millions with it. Just because one man, which was Manet, didn't recognize the change that was needed to happen in the art, right? That's what I thought, right? And I say there are similar stories that are, even though if they don't relate exactly, but the analogy is the same. People are always going to attack you, even in not only in business. And in business, it's obvious to me.
There
anyway,
are a lot of
even
people.
in the personal level, they attack you if you're doing well. So this is a challenge that we all have to have the strength, the tenacity, the focus, like Mr. Ash has, to overcome all those problems, right? It's like, going back to the formula. I mean, you're looking for a solution, but in the middle of looking for the solution, you confront all these problems and you don't get it until you go back to the formula and you understand that you are looking for what you started with, the formula. You want a business for everybody, you want good people, and then you're going to have a solution that you're seeking. But he removed the problem. The problem is already out of the picture, and he stated already. He clarified for us, and we're just so happy to hear that, and especially for the people in all these causes that are waiting for us to do something to really uplift humanity the way that he wants us to, right? It's just, it just got me so sad. But then again, I'm never doubting anything. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I'm always here, and I don't have the marketing side. I don't have the business mindset, but I'm not that kind of positive either, because I know Mother Teresa, I wouldn't be slapping a few faces, if I confront enemies that way, but at the end, we forgive because we wanted to help ourselves, and we don't want it to have the pain or hate. So that's why we forgive. We forgive to help us in the process, we be better, and we release, because those haters are not going to be released because they just hate us.
I guess forgiving can be selfish if you're doing it for yourself to some extent. You don't always have to forgive. You honestly don't. Only forgive in that sense if it actually will help you, but that's not for everyone. I'm just saying. But it's also so weird how they talk about Ash and compare him to people.
And they're the one carrying the weight. We are lucky because we're going to forgive them. We are going to forgive them.
I don't know.
Because they're the ones suffering, right? I just want the process to continue and again back to the basics, the simple life, the simple formula of giving us the opportunity, the love, the unity, and then we're all happy. And we're all going to do everything possible to uplift humanity in our simple and little ways.
Are you?
And I think it's going to be big, because that's my dream, and I think I'm going to accomplish my dream.
Bush already had $108 million that he then just kind of put it in his pocket, if you will. He didn't help a single person with it. So what makes you think that he is going to help humanity? And if you're not doing anything to make the world a better place now, why will you suddenly start doing that once you have money? It's weird to me.
And so I will love to see everybody doing the same.
Unless you admit that you need money in order to do that. In which case then that goes against your whole business structure. You shouldn't need money to run a business. It should be all based on helping people. So I'm confused.
Because it's time. It's really time to rise and shine, and help others do the same.
Or shin.
Okay.
Rise and shin.
That's my little.
No, that was beautiful. Thank you very much. That was great. I want to congratulate somebody on here. Another lady that is crossing a milestone of quitting smoking. Which, if anybody's smoked before,
I hate that.
It is the hardest. It's kind of like an alcoholic trying to get off of alcohol, or a drug addict, because it's basically a drug, tobacco, nicotine. So I want to congratulate Lori Lund, and I want her to come on and say a few words about what she thinks about all this and back to the basics.
Well, it's definitely back to the basics for me. I've been I've struggled the day, I keep telling myself, I've got to stop. I've got to stop. I've got to stop. I could go on and every year after year, and give excuses to why I kept going, but you just got to make up your mind and do it. And I did that. And now that I've made it up totally, I've made it up on other things, like back in the day, I drank beer, during, just, I gave that up. I had a plan to, lose weight or whatever, but, and you make those choices in life, you can regret them, but, you've just got to go on and get stronger and break out of what you've accomplished. It's a great accomplishment for me, but, I've stuck here with Ash and everyone here. And like I said before, just the meeting everyone in the family orientation that we have together, is huge to me as building something bigger than our basics, what we started at. I mean, now that we're back to basics, this is going to be amazing, and I'm glad that all the worms have been taken out of the apple. And I'll tell you what, that core is a solid core. And people just need to, when they open their eyes and they see the apples falling, they're going to say, oh my goodness, this is on. And, they're going to have to either
don't say
come in and decide to understand or not. But anyways, everybody has said everything. It's been an amazing journey, and this journey still is just beginning, and it's the perfect timing. It couldn't have been timed any more perfect than everything that's going on in the world, right now. It wouldn't have been right before, but I think. Anyways, but I'm going through some things myself, struggles, but I'm finding other doors.
It really
and
would have been a shame if this stuff all happened and you guys launched before, so that all these people could have made their money to protect them from all the things going on now, instead of going through what they had to go through now. What a shame.
Punch through them. And I'm working again, doing other than my eBay, because I was doing okay, but just not good enough. I got to get a little bit better. So I went out and got me another driving job, and I'll be helping others and elderly and getting them to their doctor's appointments. And and I enjoy that. I enjoy doing that, just because I'm going to get old someday. I surely hope somebody's going to take care of, good care of me. They better. I'm going to make sure of it. But anyways, I am here 100%. I'm standing behind Ash Mufareh. I will never leave his side nor yours. And I might be working, and not be able to jump on a few things, but I am here, and I know what's going on. And I thank you all. I love you all. And thank you for the power. Thank you for the encouragements. And like I said, it's done deal. My accomplishments are a done deal in my head. I ain't never going back to that. Anyways,
we're proud of you. We are proud of you, Lori.
I'm gonna live 200 years.
We get Jerry,
right?
That's what Mike says. 200 to 300.
All right, Mike. So I'm gonna hold you to it.
Speaking of Mike, I wondered if you have any if you last minute words to share with us, or Jeffrey Morlock, between either one of you.
Jeffrey again?
Yeah, just real quick,
Mike again.
We've got a pretty small crowd here tonight, and because it's on YouTube, that the views will go up. There are a lot of people in Onpassive that aren't engaged right now. They don't have a clue what's going on, and that could be 30, 40, 50, 60% of the people in Onpassive. But it's really going to be interesting as Ash comes forward with either bringing the OES back office up, or we get into scenario C. Just watch and see what happens. All of these individuals that are affiliates right now, the word will get out there, and it will get out there very strong. And what's happening within Onpassive, they're going to hear what's going on. They're coming back, every single one of them. And then you think about the 1.6, 1.8 million people that Onpassive has brought into the fold. They're in a holding tank. Those people also are going to hear what's happening within Onpassive. So it's just a really, really fun place to be right now. We have a lot of people that aren't engaged, but as the weeks go by now, because so many things are going to be happening, those individuals are going to flock back into Onpassive. And I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. And then when that happens and Onpassive is off and running, those individuals, along with all of us, they're going to start sharing, maybe not on passive, but they're going to give their testimonial. And that's when the numbers just start escalating more and more and more. And it becomes very, very dynamic. And the viral effect kicks in. Just everything that we've talked about over the last 5.5 years is just going to be on steroids because of what Mr. Mufareh has set up in the last 6 months to a year. It's a fun place to be. I can't think of a better place I would want to be when you talk about business. It's the place to be if you want to change your life, if you want to take care of that financial bottom line, if you want to live the lifestyle you want to live. It's more true today than it was 5 years ago.
Okay.
And it was really, really cool 5 years ago. But today, it's super, super cool. That's it. Just very quickly.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. We have a friend of ours from India that started with us from the beginning of the webinar. Mohammad Ziaul, would you like to say a few words, please? Unmute and speak with us.
I feel like he doesn't have a choice.
First, I thank to Ms. Minus ma'am and Ron Hablat sir. My goodness, to be a part of Night Just with Star Night with our stars. Thank you, and I am proud to be founder of Onpassive and a brilliant company which breaks all record in the world. And we are going to change the world together and on IT. It's done deal. It's beyond done deal. And thanks to our great CEO, our lovable CEO, Mr. Ash Mufareh sir, which his vision, his mission and vision to uplift humanity. And we stand with us, and no matter how it takes time. But we are so blessed for a chance to be part of Onpassive.
What the fuck was that? What just happened? What the fuck was that noise? That just scared the shit out of me. I'm dying. What the fuck was that? I was not expecting that. That was so weird and random. That was so bizarre. Sherry, I think it is him behind him. With like a suit on and sunglasses. But like, what the fuck was that noise? We gotta ask the real questions here, okay? That was insane. I don't know what that was. I'm not crazy, right? Oh my god, that was just
passive. And then when that happens,
passive and
oh shit. Ah!
Passive, and we are on the good hand. So definitely we win. We are all winners, and we are going to make real
years
in the world, and we are going to change the world together and on IT. It's done deal. It's beyond done deal. And thanks to our great CEO, our lovable CEO, Mr. Ash Mufareh sir, which his vision, his mission and vision to uplift humanity. And we stand with us, and no matter how it takes time. But we are so blessed for a chance to be part of Onpassive, and we are on the good hand. So definitely we win. We are all winners, and we are going to make create history, or we have created history, and all passive products are made from scratch, and it's reasonable, and it's our CEO mission and vision that we are
might have been
create some new features, some new ideas. So
it just scared me because it wasn't a noise I was at all expecting. When it happened, I was like, whoa, what was that? What just happened?
So blessed.
But he was good. Nothing happened to him.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it, MD.
Apparently.
And
a few times.
All right. Anybody else want to speak? Speak up now, or hold your peace.
Yeah, that really makes me want to talk. I would just, if my hand was up, that's the moment I would take my hand back down.
Jeffrey, would you like a few last words or happy? Or?
I think we've pretty much covered the gamut, but
Oh,
I
good
would like to
news.
mention something that Norel brought up. Norel, you're talking about the feminine energy, and the mainstay of feminine energy is creation. And look at what Onpassive is doing. Look at what Mr. Mufareh is doing. It is all about creation and lifting up humanity. And so, hey, I'm with you. We need more of it. We need more balancing of the feminine energy, and that's got nothing to do with gender. That it's energy. So, but it's a creative energy. So, thank you for bringing that up.
He's so mad.
No, I think Jeffrey.
He's like, you dumb bitch. How dare you bring up that it's female energy? How dare you?
I just want to know
Jeffrey
when's lunch.
I
You
think
talk about
Onpassive
launch, but
has.
how many times was it pronounced lunch? And it's lunchtime here.
Yeah. I think that Onpassive probably has the most
Oh, there
powerful
was
women
several.
in it than you could find in the world.
There was several. Actually, we should read another one soon. I'll see if I can sometime soon. It was very interesting. It was about marriage. Yep, go check that stream out if you have never seen it before.
I really believe that
Jeffrey's an
because
author.
we have very strong, confident ladies that are women that are part of this organization. So
No one
and I know
asked
Ash
about the law.
Mufareh respects you greatly. So
That was the only rule, Scam Chan, if you weren't here. All right, you're not allowed to ask about the launch.
if no one else wants to speak, Dr. Benny, you want to speak? Or are you just giving me the fingers?
No. I want to say
okay.
thank you.
Of course you
I want to say a word. If
Go
you
ahead.
don't mind. Thank you so much for
Yes.
giving me this opportunity. I want to welcome each and everyone. Happy Friday. But before I proceed,
At the end,
I want to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing all of us together today.
we've already been live for an hour and a half. We're almost at the end of this. There's like 20 minutes left. She's like, I want to welcome everyone.
This evening.
Like,
Seriously?
thanks, Dr. Betty.
Yes. And I want to thank him for sending an important person. If it wasn't for that individual, you and I will not be here today, this evening. And his name is Mr. Ash Mufareh. Because of what he has done, with all the challenges that he has faced. You know that sometimes he said he does not mind facing all these challenges because he is going to fight for it. He's going to do whatever it takes. Remember that his main goal is,
Going to fight for us. They act like they were going to war the last time. Remember, it was very much, I was like, oh my God, we're going to war the last time that we watched them all together. Now it seems to be back to that. Dr. Benny's all about that. He's going to fight for us.
It's for humanity. He will do what it takes. And you guys notice that what I have listened to most of his videos, he brags a lot about this company because he knows that he will do what it takes. He is going to achieve his goals. And because of his braggness, it makes a lot of, people out there hate him. I noticed that. But I know that the Lord is with him. Seriously. So what I want to say is Mr. Ash is a self-sacrificing man, a man who has the heart of humanity, a man who stated that either
I believe that the law is with the SEC. I mean, that's why he couldn't just dismiss the case.
I die, and then he is here to eradicate poverty and to uplift humanity. But when it comes to this, back to basics, within Onpassive, it refers to the strategic approach that it emphasizes focusing on the fundamental principles, the core values, the essential elements of the business. Now, we talk about revisiting the core values. It encourages employees, his employees, right? All right. To understand the embody of this company, the core mission.
You mean the employees that haven't been paid? That have been owed their wages since January?
The vision and to align with what the actions of Onpassive, or should I say the organization. Now it strengthens the operational fundamentals. Why am I saying this? Because it emphasizing of the efficiency, the quality, and the consistency of the day-to-day operation. It's coming. It is really coming. By streamlining the processes of the overflow, or should I say the workflow, to eliminate unnecessary complexity. Now, when it comes to about the focus of you and I, we are the customers, right? Customers, the priority is the customer satisfaction.
Ooh, she
and the
knows it.
exception of our products. Now, when it comes to the employees' engagement, it engages by empowering the employees by fostering the open what? Communication. As we all know, communication is the key in anything in business, right? By providing what? Training and development. When it comes to that training and development, it recognizes and it rewards the contributions of what? The company's success. It talks about the innovation as well. And by innovation and adaptation, which it encourages the culture and continuous improvement. And I will stop here. I just want to thank you all for giving me this amazing opportunity.
Oh, yeah,
We
Jeffrey
are
has
fighters. We will do what it takes. Thank you.
And
Right.
books.
You got it there, Dr. Smiley. Another strong woman of Onpassive. Wow. You know what? There's another lady on there that's a very strong.
You know, as a woman, I hate it when men do this thing where they act like they're surprised that women are strong. I don't know why it bothers me. It comes off more sexist for some reason.
Strong woman of Onpassive. I'm glad she finally put a hand up. I had the privilege of meeting her in person too. So, Mirtha Butler, what you got to say, girl?
What you got to say, girl?
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. I don't know if what I'm going to be saying is back to the basics, but I've been around for a very, very long time. I don't plan on going anywhere. My support is here 100% for Mr. Ash and everyone. But that derailment that we had on our journey that took us back 2 years, it's okay, because the devil is a liar. It's okay, because out of that, so many things have come out of it. Because if that didn't happen, there would not have been Marty's lives, Red lives, Laura lives. We would not have been getting to know all of these great people in Onpassive. And the more I listen,
the way he says it too, like he'll be like, "Wow, there's another real great lady who's super duper strong here," and I'm like, I hate it. Don't talk to us like that.
To the lives every day, I'm like, okay, we have great, great people. So we needed a space to shine on all of these people's lives. And there are plenty more to shine upon. So, and that's just the part I wanted to put in, because I think it really took us back to some basics. Because we are getting to know each other much better. We are getting to know who we are dealing with on some level, which is great for all of us.
Weird.
Back to you, Ron.
Thank you, Mirtha. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Abadi, you want to say a few words, Mr. Australia?
Also, we have Marcian's hand raised. So.
Hello.
Okay.
Someone else have his hand raised? Oh.
No, go ahead.
You. Yeah, thank you, Ron. Thank you, Minu. Thank you, everybody. It's great to be here. Another great speakers, all our leaders here. We thank you for being there for us all the time and letting us know where we are and encouraging us. We're doing the same thing on the other side of the background for other communities, and that's something that excites us all the time. Back to the basics, really. I mean, I remember the back to the basics basically looks to me like we get our misted or connected, we get our OES back, and then we got all our, what we came here for, and that's the basics, I believe, moving forward. And yeah, the future is bright, obviously, and that's the basics itself. And we also have, one thing I really like every time our CEO comes up in the old days before this challenge, it's always something that excites us and get us to another level. Every time he comes up, and that's what we're looking forward to. That's what's coming. We're going back to the basics of that, moving forward. And the other thing that I like about the last 360 was when he say,
it sounds so weird to be like, we're going back to basics, but we're moving forward. Right? Is that not an oxymoron?
Not only that Onpassive was the beacon of hope,
how can you do
also,
that? Makes no sense.
Love is the foundation of what we do, and really that's what it is. That's the love there. From the first day I saw, it was love. It was truthful. It was you can see it's a straight pure honesty and love, and all of us here believe that love. All of us believe that vision, and we're here to do everything that it takes to get that where we're going. And it's glad that we are passing that challenge, and excitement is on the way. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you, leaders, for always for lifting us up. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you speaking. Thank you very much. Talk about a strong woman. Okay. We have a strong woman that's going to speak next, and when she's like E.F. Hutton, okay?
Oh,
When
again?
he speaks, you listen, okay? Because she's always got the joy and the excitement. She's a party lady. She's a dancer. Most of all, she's part of Onpassive. So let's go to Marcian.
Party lady dancer. She a stripper?
Okay, thank you so much, Ron. Thank you, Mino. This is a great webinar. I couldn't abstain myself but putting my hand up to say something, even though I didn't really, I'm at work like you guys all see. But doing what we do every day and hearing from everybody, this is a very great subject back to where we have started from. So I'm just going to take it as a woman in the kitchen. Most of the time while we are cooking, we have an idea of something that we want to do. After we have mixed everything,
well, it wasn't
we take it to the kitchen, from the kitchen to the pot and the table, and we realize that
just where I used to live is like that.
There's something that was missing, or there was something that we put in much. And never remember, salt and sugar look alike. So sometimes you might look at the salt, you wanted to put a spoon, but you went and get the sugar and just put.
Yeah, well, why can't you remember that when you're listening to Ash Mufareh then?
A half of the spoon. And then you have missed everything. What do? You have to go back where you have started and pay more attention for what you are doing. Sometimes you have to change the position of the sugar in your house or your kitchen, or change the cup of the sugar from the one that look like the one of the salt, so that you don't make that mistake again. And this is what is going on with us in here. We were doing something. Our CEO was there. He have brought a lot of people with him. He did not know that those people was looking alike, just like him. But some of them, because they were looking alike, did not have the same idea. So he kept mixing them. And along the way, he realized that what was coming up was not exactly what he had in mind, was not exactly what he wanted to say to us that we were waiting on the table. So we have to go back. And going back did not mean that we're not going to eat. We just have to take a little more time because we have to restart it. We have to pay more attention. We have to go back and say, oh, hold on a minute. I think yesterday I wanted to put a spoon of salt, but I went and get a half spoon of sugar, and inside they mess everything up and I have to go back. So it's not a bad thing to go back. And if you are climbing the step and you miss one step, you know what is going to happen? Either you fail and you break something, or you hold yourself and you hang up there and somebody will help you to climb. So you cannot just miss a step and think that you will go away with it. You have to go back and restart it and pay more attention. And this thing, this Onpassive, this business, this movement that all of us are in, we have gone through that every single day of our life. Every single minute in our basic life, we do that every day. Onpassive is not an exempt of that. Onpassive, it did not supposed to go without making those mistakes. It would not have been good. By the way, it was good for us to have those mistakes so that we would differentiate the salt and the sugar in our kitchen while we are moving on cooking what we have to save the population for tomorrow. So that's all I wanted to say, and I really appreciate the topic of today. Thank you guys so much. We are in it to win it. We are not going anywhere. We are going to be here. And for those that will hear my English not so perfect, I'm a French-speaking person, so just take it like it is, and next time it's going to be better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marcian. I'm glad you come on and raised your hand. There's another lady that
I hate how they don't ask, like, how did the alleged random they apparently wrong Ash and like steal all the money that was supposed to go into an account from the merchant to him? According to him, he had already arranged it. He was just waiting for the transfer to happen at the end of May. Now here we are at the end of August, and it's all like, oh, well, somebody wronged us. And they've all taken it to mean that this person's like stolen the money and really fucked them all over, right? So it's like, come on, man. Used to be a cop.
And raise her hand from Bangladesh. The one who that brings out Marty the Garmel's dimples when he smiles. So Ava Diaz, not Davis, Diaz. Go ahead, Ava.
Thanks for that. It's weird, Ron.
You're muted.
She looks so mad. Whoa, calm down, Dr. Benny.
Hello, everyone.
Hey there.
Hi,
it's that little red microphone that you've used for the last 5 years, okay, down in the corner. Has a red flash. You have to open that up.
I do.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Ron, I'll get back to you on this.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you, Ron, for having me here, and thank you, Minu. And hello to everyone. So, the topic I was listening in, but I just couldn't resist myself to come in and say hello and just say that, we actually, all of us are so very blessed to be a part of this and going back to basics. I mean, you just can, at least I cannot, I don't have words to express my gratitude to Mr. Ash Mufareh for, he hasn't given up on anything. He's just taking us further down. And if necessary for him, he came back to the basics of everything so that he can pull us up again. And that.
Listen, I can't right now. I can't with this back to basics. It's one more person says that one more time. Like, Lord, they all come on and they're like, oh, Ash said we're going back to basics. That's the topic. So back to basics means for me that we go back to the basics. Yeah, the basics is what we go back to. That's what it means. Ash was so profound when he said that. So we're going to go back to the basics. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Because in this thing, it really just means going back to the time when they didn't have anything, which, yeah, they've done that. Granted, they've done it. Their shit's gone. They've done it. Right? But then it's like, she literally just, they're acting like it's this great thing. And it's like, but it's not really that great. Like, that's not a good thing. You were doing better last year, a year ago. They're like, we want to go back to over 2 years ago. And I'm like, again, that's when everything sucked. Like, it really sucked. You were getting sued by the SEC and you had nothing. Like, it'd be great for you to go back to before the SEC was doing the lawsuit, but we do not have a time machine. But it's like, what does that really mean, going back to the basics here in a positive way? Because you're really just repeating it.
Is one amazing gentleman, I would say. He has done what he has done because right now, for my very own experience out here in Bangladesh, I can say, the millions of people that are suffering today of the floods, they need help. They surely do need. And he has made us voices for them. He said, I'll create Mother Teresa's. And actually, he's creating.
She's acting like Ash is like some kind of god. They all are. But technically, yeah, as soon as this thing gets turned back on, they all have to pay out money again. They all owe for the O Connect right away. You know what I mean? So it I don't know if I'd be as excited for it.
Mother Teresa's. And if he didn't have to get back to
we have like
the basics of everything, where would we be? We wouldn't have been where we are today.
That's sad to me.
So all I can say is thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ash.
I hate this whole thing of like, without Onpassive, where would we be? We wouldn't be anywhere. We would all be very unsuccessful and unhappy. That's an awful thought. An awful thought. You should be weary of anything that makes it seem like they're the answer to all of your problems. And your only choice. A lot of this stuff they could have learned and done without Onpassive. Like, they were talking about losing weight. You didn't need Onpassive for that. It's not even a health and wellness company. Like, what the fuck do you mean? You know? A social club? Don't need Onpassive for that either.
everyone for just listening to me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ava. Thank you so much for speaking with us tonight, and we continue saying prayers for you and people in Bangladesh. We love you.
Very, very special to us, Ava. So hang in there, and we're praying for you. So, you see any more hands, Benu?
Nope.
All right. Well,
Marty,
what I would like
thank
to do
you so
now
much.
is
Yeah.
I would like to thank Marty DeGarmo for live streaming us tonight, and the thing that he does so well. I don't know how many channels we went out to, but it was very nice of you to offer it and do that for us. So we really appreciate it. So if there was no more hands, no more comments, I'm going to say, God bless everybody
lasted
here.
like an hour.
God bless the USA and all the other countries that are here. We love you. Thanks for sharing on Friday Night Live. I mean, excuse me. Let's go. Marty, did you want to say something? Okay. That's not, are you just giving me the fingers?
Okay, I'm going to stop recording.
I'm going to stop recording.
And thank you, everybody, for coming. And please spread the word. And
spread the word.
We're here for you guys, and we love to listen to everybody.
Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Love you all. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. So that was the most recent Ron, which is, it was kind of creepy. Going back to basics, where they very much treat Ash like a god. Like it's an honor to do these interviews with him. It's crazy to me. They treat him like he's a really famous person. Ash wants another bite of the apple. Yeah. Did you guys see the apple that I posted on my community tab? Because that's what I'm picturing from now on whenever they talk about apples. I don't know if I have time tonight for that, Angel, but maybe we can do that as part of our Friday. That would be something fun to do. For sure, is go and check out some more Jeffrey stuff. Maybe we can check out one of his books soon, too, because I find it interesting to look into who they are outside of Onpassive just as much, right? And they all get back on the Touchel bus. Ow, connect. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can catch the 360 tomorrow. They're claiming it's going to be tomorrow at 2. I don't know if Ash is going to be on it again, but I think either way, we should probably try to grab that one. Because it will also be interesting to see how it goes without Ash on there, I feel like. If he doesn't show up again. I have no clue if he's not, but I'm kind of guessing that if he wasn't going to show up, then it would have been today. So since they had to reschedule it for tomorrow, I'm thinking that might be again because he's showing up. Because if you remember, he mentioned that it's actually easier now for him Thursday afternoon. So I'm kind of like, maybe he will. So I'm hoping to catch that tomorrow. But it's interesting to see how they have sort of taken this most recent 360 from last week and spun it into something very positive. This going back to basics, going back to the beginning, redoing everything, and Ash getting screwed over allegedly. Like, he didn't get screwed over. He just owes his bills. He owes an Amazon bill of $3.4 million, so they cut him off, so he lost his stuff, right? And then he's supposed to pay the O founders this commission from the O Connects, but again, don't know where that money went. So they're just kind of like, again, assuming, because he hinted that he had to take back control of the company and that had something to do with like him getting fucked over. But we still don't really know what he's referring to. Now, we over here, us naysayers, we know that there's been a split up in the company. So I'm thinking he's referring to that, but he just doesn't know how to explain to these people yet that Muhammad Kamal and him are no longer in the same company, that he no longer has anything to do with like the Dubai area. and Egypt and etc. So I guess we'll just have to see how that goes. I doubt he's going to tell us anything new tomorrow, but either way, I would like to get the 360s as much as possible. Because even if he's not up there, it will be kind of interesting to see how Marty and Chris and Red continue on the show. Because even last week's, I wasn't 100% sure if he was going to come on. And they're acting very, very weird. So just imagine that, but for like the whole thing. I just think it'll be fascinating. You know, it's almost like we're watching a zoo. It's like we're watching a zoo. It's like the cult zoo. How do they act? How do they act when he's supposed to show up and can't show up? How do they act when he's not around? How do they act around him? How does he act around them? Versus how did he used to act? Which, if we're going back to basics, like I said, technically then we would be watching them do these 7-hour webinars where it's just Ash dreaming for 7 hours straight. And they're all just sitting there listening to him blab on. Which, I mean, that would be fun for content maybe, but not good for their business. You know, it really wouldn't be. Ash has the money, he just doesn't want to part with it. That's what I'm thinking, because, like, my whole thing is he even said himself he's the only one that would have access to it. And I'm kind of like, okay, you kind of fucked yourself when he said that then. Because now you can't be like, oh, somebody came and stole this money from me. Literally said you're the only one with access to it. So I'm thinking he probably spent the money, pocketed the money, and he just doesn't know how to, like, go about asking for more money without creating this issue now. How many real members are left? I'm not sure. It's hard to say. It's hard to say because, like, even the ones that show up in the webinar, we don't always see the whole group of them. And it's hard to guess based on, like, views and stuff. That doesn't really give us an accurate number. Because, like, they rewatch things over and over again and whatnot. Like, so we don't really know. But I highly doubt that it is 1.4 million people. You know, it sounded like they only sold about 400,000 to 800,000, like, O-Connects if they were lucky. That was just numbers that they pulled, but I don't know if I believe them. They're just kind of random numbers. 6 years is a long time for hype and promises, and now a reset. I mean, they've done the resets before. It's not their first reset. Probably won't be their last. I guess we'll just have to see where it goes from here. But none of them know what's going on. And they're just out here talking as if they have some kind of insight. As they're saying, oh, you're not supposed to speculate. They're all speculating. And it really just is the blind leading the blind around here. Ash took the money, but his plan was to flee to Canada, so he moved the money there, and now it's all worthless. Yeah. Maybe Albs. Maybe he's coming here to be an internet millionaire with Michael Williams. So thank you, everyone, for going through that with me. I hope that you enjoyed that. It gave us a little bit of insight into, you know, how they all interpret these webinars. Again, they just take it and put a positive spin on it. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for the 360 and then for our Friday. So stay tuned for those. Have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your night. Again, I love you. And I'll see you all soon. We're in it to win it.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's the call. Hey.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or spying, or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly.
Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought out. Her debate was 3-minute Ash. And another Queen of Karma person asking about why don't we answer the question about religion. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them all more than one. It's not the answer you want, but only Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana. All right, no joke.
All right, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune into crazy and talking about their experiences. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
And I'm your friend.
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own YouTube channel. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name's Ash Mufareh.
Stop going there.
Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there.
My name's Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Guyana.